Alright, welcome in. It is race number 7 tonight of the ISRC Truck Series season here. We're here at Nashville. It is Battle of the Bands 200. It's a music themed race tonight here. We're in Nashville Super Speedway, so a lot of people got some music themed paint schemes rocking tonight. So um, our buddy whipped us up one M&M one, so we're rocking that tonight. Hopefully it brings us some good luck. Hopefully we can get a good run here. I, for the most part, enjoy this track, so I'm hoping to be able to save some tire in the long run and hopefully we're able to come up with a good finish here. Got our teammate Ryan Ferraro in here, number 10 truck. We'll see if Jesse makes it tonight. He's always last minute, you know. He's on the West Coast there, so always tough for him to get here on time sometimes.
You didn't see that?
I'm pitting. Two-car pitting.
Hopefully Jesse makes it tonight.
Yep.
The old last minute Jesse.
We still got like 2 minutes before he shows up.
150 laps around this joint here. Night race. Surprisingly, I haven't had very many night races, it seems like. So it's kind of nice. Gonna have 5 sets of tires total, so 4 in the pit, and then plus the one we have on. So we'll see. With the no stages though, it's been a lot of only like 1 caution, 2 caution races. So this track has a tendency to get spread out in the long run. So yeah, we should have long runs tonight theoretically. So it's definitely gonna be key to save tire.
Let's hurry up and qualify so I can qualify 25th.
All right, buddy. So I can qualify 26. Let's go. Qualify as a team. We start as a team, you know. Won't there be a lot of, probably won't be very many cautions tonight, you think? No?
Mark is here, so you never know.
Wow.
Hopefully not. It usually goes pretty green.
Yeah, I was gonna say this track gets pretty spread out. Appreciate everybody tuning in on YouTube, Twitch. Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. About to do qualifying.
Have you
We have
thought
a
about
5-minute
pitch
warm up.
strategy at all?
I have not. No. What
Neither
about?
have I.
I was gonna say I don't.
If I'm thinking anything, I'm thinking like 55, 110 if we go green.
How long can you go on a field? 60, 50?
Yeah, around the 60 mark.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's theoretically split it in half. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good plan to start off with.
Too little over to make the last run like really short, so you have tires.
Yeah.
I'm spitballing, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a good, like, just, you know, a good starting strategy to go by. And who knows what happens, you know? This crazy shit happens in these races. Let's get out here and qualify. Got our crew chief on.
Radio check.
Now we got
Spotter, radio check. Pit lane speed limit is 45 miles per hour. All right, Dakota, we've got 2 laps to get the job done.
Alright, let's see what we can do here.
The leader has just done a 30.58. The leader has just done a 30.00. The leader's just done a 29.91 V2. The guy behind has just done a 29.94. That's a new fastest lap for Stovall, 29.80.
29.92. Not terrible, I guess. Damn, I actually felt a lot faster through on lap 2. Damn. That's alright. Go ahead and get the broadcast rocking in the background too.
It's bouncing around on who can find the quick pace for themselves. Trent Jump bounces back up into 5th place, falls down to 4th, because Cody Smith in the 7 with some wild pace up to 4th.
Great time there by Cody Smith, and really excellent time from Stovall, like you said, to take that top spot. That's about 200ths of a second off our fastest time of the night. And Ali Fonseca, just as I said that, 1,000th of a second takes the top spot over Joshua Stovall. So it's a Fonseca Stovall Sora top 3 at the moment, with Justin Smith and Cody Smith joining him in 4th and 5th. Is now Cochran. He's going to join him up in 5th.
And across the line, Classic Shelley find the pace to try to go for his 4th pole this season. It's going to be 11th on the board, so not fast enough as they'll money shift it to slow down. Now the drivers that are now topping the board, Ali Fonseca, top of the board with a 29.8 flat. Then it's Joshua Stovall in 2nd. Noah Steele currently on pace to try to top the board. Desjert Talmadge, fastest lap over anyone. He was the fastest during practice and now the fastest after qualifying. As his teammate Thomas Green across the line, he'll be 5th on the board. 4th is still Noah Steele, who's currently on his final lap of qualifying as he crosses the line. It's Noah Steele now, top of the board.
Wow, the times keep trickling down, and no surprise with this nighttime conditions, the track is getting better and better as it cools off. Now we're watching Alan Elwood here in the 4 machine, see what he can put down. Another driver coming around to put his final lap in. It'll be Thomas Green. We'll see what he can do. He's not going to pick up on his 2nd lap, so he'll be 6th. We'll see where Elwood can place himself. Elwood's been super quick this season. You're going to see he's going to take a little bit of a different approach than some of the others. And I thought, you know, some would do this. They'd take that 2nd lap and kind of throw away the 1st lap by running that top groove in 3 and 4 to get the big run down this front straightaway.
Teammate of Alan Elwood, Nico Garcia, going to be
just try to be easy on our tires here.
His 2 laps have completed.
What did that? What did just 2 laps?
Alan Elwood trying to tie Isaac Shelley with 3 poles this season to be the most. As it's going to be Richard Thomas now going to be in 6th position for the 37 after his 1st lap, as Nick Crawford going to fall to 7th after finishing his 2 laps. And here's Alan Elwood taking a slow approach on his 1st lap, down to the apron, across the line. The 4 wants the pole, and was it enough? No, it's 3rd fastest for Alan Elwood. Even with taking that different approach, it just was not fast enough. But speed, we've seen the drivers that were in our top 3 during practice be top of the board.
Well,
during practice, he's second
guess we predicted that at least, huh?
Noah Steele, who was quickest.
Not bad. I mean, not as bad as I was expecting. So.
And the driver that was the second fastest topped the
something.
times. Let's see, as Ethan Smith's first lap did not count, and he won't get the second. He ran out of time for the 0-0 to even put a lap in.
That's a huge
moment there.
Ethan Smith not getting that lap in. Like you said, he was second fastest in practice, so we expected something big there, but it's Noah Steele in by quite a margin too, Sam. That is an impressive lap time by the 8 machine.
And Noah Steele's done this before. Back in season 3, had the pole.
All right, folks, welcome to Nashville Speedway, Battle of the Band 200, presented by Larry Art Productions. Good to see all those cool band themes, music themes, really cool things tonight. So we have 150 laps around here. Initial start will be on green. Any restart following will be on the leader within the Geico restart zone. If they do not initiate the start within that zone, then the green flag will start the race. If need be, there will be 2 attempts at green line checkers. No fast pass or additional sets tires. When entering pit road, please remember to stay to the right on pit road for avoiding accidents, penalties. Also, no changing lanes underneath start or restart unless you're avoiding an accident or potential accident underneath. As always, we're going to heavily rely on iRacing for yellow flags, so if somebody gets spun on the infield grass or on the backstretch, way down off the racing surface, we're not going to throw yellow. But if we see something on the racing surface that we deem to be needing a caution, then we will do so. So making your green flag pit stops if you have any tonight. Just please call it out ahead of time. Call it when you're sitting, because it's a little tricky before here. If you missed it, missed pit entry, please re-enter a racing surface safely, or call it off that you missed it and you're re-entering. Just better safe
his great runs he's been having. Danny Cochran, like you said, he was one of the ones that dropped out. He's breaking 5 spots last week, so some drivers definitely going to need to rebound.
Your last lap time was 30.25.
Also, 2 drivers that are on the rebound after very poor starts to the season. Only Fonseca 17th. He was second to last in points after the first 2 races of the season. He's up to 17th, trying to do kind of a similar thing that we saw Vincent Sora do with WSSR this previous season. And also Cody Reed 20th in points. Then he
fastest lap for Miller, 29.80.
You know, talking about
that's your quickest lap. Just done at 30.17.
How the schedule has been so far. And here's the ways that it's lined up. We had Daytona, Homestead, Watkins Glen, Chaplain, and Pocono, and then last week at Atlanta, we've seen multiple different winners. The pole sitters have gone back and forth, and then we add a new name to that list, and Nick Crawford. But we only have Nashville as well as Auto Club Las Vegas. Those are the last races of the regular season. Bristol is the All-Star race. That's kind of a break before we get into the chase later on in the season. But Zach, these final 3 races, this is exciting to watch. I am thrilled with the way that this regular season is going to be ending.
I am too, Sam. It's really impressive because, like we were talking about,
nailed the entry.
102 Fahrenheit.
There's not many short tracks left.
168 Fahrenheit.
Actually, we did. We got right inside the cone, didn't we?
Things that with people not really being ready for those races. So it's going to be, I think, a really strong finish. First off, with Nashville here tonight, Auto Club Las Vegas to finish out the regular season. I mean, those 3 tracks, those are kind of tracks other than tonight that, you know, a lot of people know
just
very
graze
well.
the cone.
Have a very close
just give it a kiss with the right
regular
rear.
season to make the playoffs that
Totally
much
fucked
more,
up Isaac's entry.
You know, important.
As we now dive into tonight's race, there's a couple of drivers that we feel like might be those to watch out for as we have our pick'ems for each race, and we make these picks before qualifying during the practice session. So sometimes we pick right, sometimes we pick wrong, and I feel like I might have picked right on the money. I decided to go with Noah Steele as my pick entering into tonight. That 8 machine looked quick in the past and saw the pace looking good during practice. Now it's about putting it all together during the race.
Thanks for the
That's going to
goat.
be my driver to watch out for.
Goat
The
sticker.
8 machine of Noah Steele. Zach, who do you have as a driver to watch out for here tonight?
I love that call, Sam, but I'm going to have to go with the number 3 of Thomas Green. I just like what I've seen from Thomas this season. He's just been
Appreciate
so
that.
consistent, and it just seems like you know, a track that he would be very, very good at. We see him
Some
good
good
at
luck.
Iowa. Just tracks that are different than the other circuits that have different characteristics. I think the 3 could be one to watch out tonight and be possibly joining Vince Sora as the second-time winner tonight.
I love that pick. That was my second driver if Noah Steele wasn't able to be picked for myself. I love it. And our third member of our group, running productions in the background, that's Robert Moyer Jr. He's going to go with the 78 of Nico Garcia. I know Nico's got a lot of fans out there. Nico's looking for a good race performance. Has looked very good in the first half of races. It's the second half that he needs to find a way to get into victory lane, and being told it's his birthday. Nico Garcia, happy birthday for that 78 team. Hoping to have a little bit of birthday magic for
150 laps
himself
around here.
tonight.
Let's see what
Warm-up
happens.
is
We're starting
concluding.
18th, next
That means all that's left is tonight's race. Again, 150 laps, no stage break, and no fast repairs.
No steal on
4
board.
extra switch tires in pit road. And you've got 31 drivers
right.
ready to hit the course.
Appreciate y'all tuning
to
in
see
as always.
who can
Let's
find
do
themselves
it.
into victory
31
lane
trucks
or
out here
just
tonight.
find good footing to
Pretty
carry
good field.
forward in the rest of this regular season. We also want to say thank you to the primary sponsor of Larry Arts
get on
Productions
tires
for being
here
the primary
right
sponsor
90
for the
seconds.
season and tonight's race, the Battle of the Bands 200, presented by Larry Art Productions. Drivers are running special schemes this evening, honoring bands, honoring songs, and they were having some fun with it. I know a lot of drivers were excited with tonight's race
in the heart.
to show
Thank
off
you.
their schemes under the lights. As the drivers are gridding up, let's take a look at our starting grid here this evening for the Battle of the Bands 200. Full award first time this season. Welcome to the stats
60
season
seconds.
8. It's Noah Steele and the 8 machine.
More
To his
good luck
outside,
charms
really the
incoming.
driver who's been very consistent this season. It's Jarrett Talmadge in second place. Alan Elwood going to be starting in third. Nico Garcia, a pick from Robert Moyer Jr. and the birthday boy, going to be starting in fourth. Fonseca in fifth. Joshua Stovall trying to carry on some good momentum after some strong finishes recently.
Thank you.
He needs a rebound after last week's running. He will be starting in sixth
lightning
position.
bolt, let's
Seventh,
go.
We find Richard Thomas with
30
74
seconds.
of Nick Crawford in eighth. Ninth is Michael Miller. And then finishing out our top 10, it's the 3 of Thomas Green.
Last week's winner will start in 11th. That's
Like
Vincent
corn on the
Sora.
cob.
12th is going to be the
Just a
45
couple
of
Codys
Justin
back
Smith.
here in row 8 looking
13th is
for
gonna
a
go to the
Vinci award.
77 of Malik Kuntz. Danny Cochran going to start
Hey,
in
thanks for the follow.
14th with Cody
10
Reed rounding out
seconds.
the top 15. 16th is going to go to Cody
Unfortunately,
Smith
I'm going to
with
have to take the
17th.
chat off for a
Going
little bit
to,
because
Trick Jump
we'll
on
stay on my
150
stream while I'm racing.
qualifiers.
18th is going to be the 5 Dakota Moniz. 19th is going to be the 10 of Ryan
Try to
Farrar.
pull
Rounding
it
our
up
top
between
20
pit
is the
stops and
16
cautions,
of Joshua
hopefully.
Knott.
And 21st, we find the 29 of
rolling
Logan
off in
Brakey.
18.
Isaac Shelley not able to get the time that he was hoping for. He'll start all the way down in 22nd position. 23rd is Tyler
Let's do it.
Degler with Samuel Garcia in 24th. Mark Labertell
Rolling start.
returning
Get
after
ready.
his one
Follow
race
car number
suspension.
7
The 44
in
will
the
start
outside
in
column.
25th, but watch out, he's got some sneaky speed. Saw during practice, just didn't translate it during qualifying. Also, watch out for the 53
So
of Aaron
clucking
Stamp. He's
good.
trying to march his way through the field. 27th will be
Race car
Mark
speed
Morales
is
Jr.
63
Just
miles per
four
hour.
finishing
All right, buddy.
all
Good
the
luck.
guys.
Be easy on the tires here.
Those that were not able to
Look,
go
I gotta
John
figure out how to be
Morris was having
faster than
connection
you, so that way
issues.
we don't
Finally
end
got
up
connected
next to each
in.
other
We'll start all
every
the way down
single
in
race.
29th position with Ethan Smith and TJ Calloway.
Just keep showing up every week. I
31
keep
drivers
keep figuring out how to be slower every week, so it's just an eventuality at this point.
That's the portion of this race that's really going to change the factor of the mentality for drivers. You said that
All right, 150 laps
long.
around Nashville
With
Super
Nashville
Speedway.
Super
We're
Speedway,
night
I think
racing,
it
baby.
really does show on the fact that this is going
Watch
to be a
people
race
going into the wall and turn
mental
four.
than it is
10-4.
physical here this evening.
Oh, for sure. I think we've got to be really smart in this opening phase.
Appreciate y'all
because
tuning in.
You don't want to
Okay,
give up
Dakota,
much track
nice and
position,
neat.
but you
Stay
don't
on
want
track.
to over the tires because you don't know how long we're going here. So it's going to be, like you said, kind of a mentality race of what you decide to do. So you got to put yourself in good situations and try to like
That was a little bit of a bottleneck to restart there.
Also, the props to the drivers last week. No penalties were given out, so no one's forced to get to the line. Everyone stays where they qualified, and that means it is in the hands of Noah Steele in the 8. Welcome to the Battle of the Bands 200, presented by Larry Art Productions. We are green. It's Noah Steele, Jared Talmadge, side by side, outside lane 8, taking off very well. It's Alan Elwood giving a huge push to the 8, down into turn number 1.
Still there. Great push from the 4 to that 8. That really allowed Noah to just to clear that outside line. Oh, Elwood a little bit loose there. Full tire. Still there.
We're okay. I don't think we hit that hard.
Instability still there. Right there going on. Very close to us now. It's Still there.
Yep, no damage, we're good.
Look to the inside of the 4 and try to take advantage of this, but it's very tough to make that pass work.
Noah Steele running the butt number 8 machine. He will lead lap number 1. A strong start for Noah Steele, who wants to get himself into victory lane. It's been quite a while since this 8's been able to do so. Behind him, I believe the drivers that have been dominating this season. Alan Elwood, Jared Talmadge, side by side for second place. And you want to get single file out quickly. You want to make sure you're the driver who moves forward and ahead, and Alan Elwood's able to do so. As our top 10 drivers, not a lot of movement going on. They'll switch up for second and third, and as well a change up for 8th and 9th. They're the only changes so far. Once again, thank you for joining with us. My name is Sam Dyer with Sack Hall, Robert Moyer, Junior Wright Productions in the background, and Zach.
There's a car inside.
It is Noah Steele, still looking strong on the line.
He still is being very good about just
fastest lap for
29.95.
You've just done a 30.6 seconds.
Way to give up your car's ability for yourself.
Car inside.
Joshua Stovall in a little bit of a different color scheme here tonight. Sam is there, right? Those bands.
Hold your line.
Yeah, rep the band schemes. No longer the brown crew for
Still
tonight.
there.
It is the red, white, and blue for the 42.
Hold your line.
And Stovall continues to
You're on the inside.
way forward. Alan Elwood not going to have the fastest lap for himself, but I've seen a different scheme. Elwood's 42 running 6 place. Such a crucial race like we talked about during the point standings. He was one of those drivers that has looked very strong this season. Poor performance last week in Atlanta. Lost 2 points in the point standings, runs 11th in points, and that is not a safe place to be. Now when you've got Auto Club Las Vegas, tracks that are a lot more trap package, where you can find yourself in trouble at any moment. So this 42 recognizing tonight, it's top 10. If anything,
Dakota, the next car is car number 29, and their rating is 3.0. 20th place. That was a 30.70.
Now look at the 2 of Danny Cochran. He fell outside that top 12 last week, so Cochran needs to have a good run. He cannot afford to have a bad finish here tonight. He needs to definitely make sure these next 3 are his best of the season if he wants to have any comfortable feelings, especially going into the regular season.
As Dan Cochran sporting some different colors, as this is his Jimmy Buffett scheme. A huge Jimmy Buffett fan is Danny Cochran, as he is having fun out there. Always
I'm sorry, Jared, it's on me, man. I apologize, bro.
Schemes for the field to watch, and for Danny, again, a crucial drive for himself as he enters tonight, 14th in points, as he's trying to make that push to make the playoffs. See the 15 of Vincent Sora currently just lingering.
Oh, that was not a good turn, 3 and 4 right there.
Trying to find a way to go forward is Talmadge, tough run for himself, as Nico Garcia saying apologies over the radio with the 27, Zach. Troubles, what did you see for himself as it looked like it was going into 1?
Oh, it's just such a very easy mistake to be made here. Garcia was looking to the inside. Had the run kind of, you kind of come upon each other here after the
car number 4 is now leading.
Dog leg here in the corner, and you can get right to the inside, and I think maybe even a little neck cover possibly there, but just look at Jared Talmadge though. Wow, what a save from him. No damage. That is the biggest thing. He drove that thing all the way to that wall and made sure he stayed out of it. So that was exactly what you want to see if you're Jared Talmadge. I mean, you don't lose those spots, but it could have been a way worse situation. You're going to see the Garcia go there, and yeah, it's just a slight bit of, the driver's going for that same line there, and it's very easy to do on the intro to 1.
Same line.
Pace car is out.
Was a big
Line
thing
up
I
single
saw
file
during
behind
practice.
car 29.
That
closed.
happened behind us. That happened behind us, it looked like.
Others were lunging forward to try to make some passes. It looked like there for Garcia. He was lunging.
Okay, well, we got our first caution. Did not expect to get a caution, to be honest with you.
Oh.
Gives me time to look at the chat here. Oh, thank you for all the stickers.
Be involved with this incident.
Oh, this is going to be
Race cars in, turn 3.
Yeah, looks like, that happened behind us. Not sure what happened.
I don't know what happened here, but it's going to be the 11 of John Forbes just trying to make a pass.
Let's see, I think, how many laps did we run there? 10?
Race car speed is 54 miles per hour.
He's going to sell it off here in the middle, and he's going to slide up from that middle groove up to that third groove. John Forbes sees his opportunity. Now he's going to look to the inside.
There you go. That was trying to not lock it up.
44 round and just collects.
I might come down and get tires and say fuck it.
Just looks like this might be the start of the story for this evening of netcode being an issue. If it's your first time
speed limit is 45
miles per hour. 20th, we got to lose.
A lot of different racing and just video games in general.
box in.
It's
5,
network displacement that happens
3,
where what
2,
you visibly
1.
see in what's
Box
being
now.
delivered on data over the internet is they don't match. And so an invisible hitbox was shown there that made the
Front
cut.
right,
98.
2,
11.
again, 2,
Able to drive away,
Fahrenheit.
not as
Front
much
left,
damage
1,
as it could have
71
been.
Fahrenheit.
Kind of similar to Jared Talmadge, where
We'll see.
it could have been a lot worse, but good wheelmanship by all drivers to just make slight contact and spin it around, staying away from the wall.
Definitely a good job by everybody to do that for sure. It could have just continued to be worse. So, you know, we've seen how Rex can continue on, and now John Forbes, I'm sure Mark Laberton will also come down here to get some of those damages repaired. Because really, the worst thing that happened there was when it spun the 44 round, the front
Race
end
car is in.
of
Turn
the
3.
11 and the front end of the 44 kind of came together.
We'll see how it goes.
I just did right side.
Oh, okay.
Miles per
I was
hour.
wondering.
What you want to have happen. So they'll be sitting there for a little bit of time to get that damage fixed. But I'm not surprised to see majority of the
I
field
thought
here
about
in the
doing no
race car
tires
stay
than
out.
2 only.
There was still a pretty good margin of drivers. That
Yeah, I don't know. I'll just say
road.
fuck it and see what happens.
Thomas Green,
These are
Cocker,
open.
Vincent Soren,
Honestly,
Ethan
like,
Smith,
my
Ryan
tires
Brown,
weren't bad
Kevin
enough that I
East,
think
Smith,
I'll
Jimmy
just
Garcia,
have a little
Justin
bit more
Fuzzy,
turn in the
Josh
car, which I
Johnson,
really
the
want
mix of
need
drivers
in
that
this.
hit pit
Yeah, I
road.
know, right?
Most of them, 4 tires and fuel.
That's my thing. I don't know if I'm not pushing hard enough, or
0,
if
0.
I'm,
The
you
outside
know.
lane. All right, Dakota. Get ready
It's hard to
resolution
tell,
at the end of the
especially like if you're just riding the bottom, you're saving tires because what I was doing with Tyler and them was not fun.
Race car is just
It was probably killing my stuff.
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
hitch
yeah,
car.
for sure.
I could see maybe if you're farther back, kind of like the.
I don't know. My right front was 98, so
It must
there was
feel like,
somewhere on
you know,
that
10
run.
laps on tires is going to make a huge difference.
My
Again,
right
lap
sides
time-wise,
both were at
there
97.
wasn't a
Okay, and
considerable
I didn't feel like I was pushing that hard. So some of the other guys, I
tires.
don't know.
mean, maybe 3 tenths, 2 tenths at most. And I think
I don't think it's gonna
we'll see
make
a lot
too
of that
much of a
come back
difference
with
here,
the
though.
down phase of the tires. But by the end of the run, when it's all said and done, those
Well,
fresher
we go
tires could
a few
really
laps
be
further, that's for sure,
way
if it goes
different.
green.
Got a bunch of fans out there in the chat root for all the different drivers, hoping to see victory for their favorite.
But then again, if I get the same strategy, then I might want to just
like
try to
always,
keep my
Josh,
track
with
position.
Stovall fans out there,
with
have
them.
Ethan Smith
Oh, we still have
fans
360
out
tires
there,
for
Nico
130 laps.
Garcia, as well as seeing,
Okay.
it looks like Cedric Hunter, past
should get
winner
a
of this
long run
race.
here.
He's rooting for the 74, 15, and the 2 here this evening. So, got a couple of drivers, got some fans.
Keep thinking that Rackley's the
If there's
restart
anyone
zone. It's
else out
not.
there, who are you rooting for? What team are you
I thought the
rooting
same
for?
thing earlier, too.
Success
green, green, let's go.
this evening. The drivers are stacked up, pace car lights are off. We are going this time by.
on the low side.
Just able to go 10 laps before first caution.
P23.
Now,
Hold
see
the
how much
line.
longer we can stay green. This go around, pace car
Hold the line.
pit road, entering the restart zone here.
Still there.
Quickly, it's Noah Steele, Alan Elwood.
Woo!
Cooper
Just a little slippery on cold
Let's
tires there.
find out as we
Hold your
are
line.
green once again for the Battle of the Bands.
Looks like it's
200%
clear.
by
Car low.
Larry R Productions. It's
Still
the
there.
inside of Noah Steele who gets the good launch and
Still there.
really pretty even from second on back as they're stacked
Hold your
3
line.
wide for third place for a quick moment.
Wow, Elwood got way up the racetrack, but he had a huge run
Still
because
there.
of that. Now look, he's going to cut to the inside the 8 here and be
Still
fairly
there.
clear of his teammate Nico Garcia. And
Hold your
now
line.
Elwood going to take advantage of this restart and look at that.
Still there.
Forward to the lead off of turn number 4. And he's
Still
going to
there.
slide up right in front of the 8 with the 8, a little contact
low.
there. That was almost disaster.
And you can see the rest of the field.
I think
trying
he
to
called
scatter
it,
and
Josh.
make all these passes with how difficult it is to
About
make
50 laps
moves
too
like
early,
that.
but yeah.
You need to make your passes immediately.
Car in front
And
of
Elwood
us.
made it
15
that
on
way.
10.
He took advantage. It looked like a bizarre
Well,
move,
Steele.
but it works out for the War Machine as he is trying to pull away
13.33.
on the driver's
Press your fastest
side by
line.
side. It's Ollie Fonseca and Joshua Stovall for 4th place. Stovall is on the move. No longer wants to linger in 6th. He wants to crack into the top 5 and stay there, solidified at 4th.
William Newman was right there trying to raise the wall there with that 8 machine. But look at this. Like you said, the 42 trying to make work on the 24 from
Right,
Fonseca
line
here.
mark.
But also you got the 37 Richard Thompson. Or Thomas who's doing a
Little
great
tippy
job.
tap from the 50.
Next car is
I think
Smith.
it's leading one because we're here side by side. That's
Wrecking in one, wrecking in one. Oh, you're in front of me.
0, 0.
Lol.
It's closed.
I didn't expect the.
I was calling wrecking in one and I realized you were in front of me.
With the bright
Oh, yeah.
green with some camo, and it is a sharp scheme that we are seeing here this evening.
Okay.
What do they do now?
Now, if they pit, this could work out for us.
Dude, this car felt so fast on 2 tires.
No, that's not what
Like,
you want to see there. Stamp.
That was like
That's
perfect because I could get it rotated on the bottom with the
I
throttle.
think we might have had some.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, this was a an interesting little bit of contact where one truck hits another, then that truck hits the next one, and the next one hits him. So it's kind of that chain reaction.
Catch up to car number.
They're probably still going to stay out here.
53 getting hit. I believe it was eventually.
Yellow. It's
We'll probably have a few takers here.
Hit on him.
Yeah.
Cody got hit too.
Turn 3.
So I think we're going to see a little bit of chain reaction.
Yeah, there's the contact of going to be Thomas Green into Cody Reed, who then just sends the 53 into the outside wall.
Race car speed is
Luckily, no one else
55
involved
miles
in
per
this
hour.
incident, but it resets, restacks, and the drama-filled restarts. Well, they get another chance.
Okay,
to
Dakota,
record it.
the pace
The
car
big
is just
reason
left.
why you're going to
No.
see this
No.
huge
Well,
lunge. Thomas
Ethan's
Green
been
is
by.
heavily pushed by Vincent Sora, and
Nobody
those
up there,
drivers are all
really.
on fresh
Interesting.
rubber. I think
Catch
the
up to
10
car
lap
number
difference
00.
is a lot bigger than maybe those drivers were expecting, with also being in the middle of the field, of having to back off sooner, the different braking zones. It really shifted up this
Pace
group.
car is
as
out.
You can
It's
see the
closed.
15,
Pace car is
pushing
just
the
left.
3, pushes the
Pace car
25,
speed is
and
55
away
miles
goes
per hour.
of Eric Stamp.
Yeah, and I think also the 3, not, you know, he, like you said, he's getting pushed off the nose of the 15 there, and he's probably thinking, all right, I'm getting a good push for him. Maybe I could dive
Did I add
up
on
the
the caution
inside
to
here,
my
not
thing?
thinking
Yeah, I don't
this
think I
25
did.
is gonna, you know, close that
Did,
door,
okay.
but Cody Reed's thinking he's going to get to the inside of the 53. So
pace
they
car is
both were
just
kind of
left.
thinking forward, and it just all came together. And unfortunately, Stamp was the one that got the short end of the stick.
As we are 18 laps in, the drivers coming into pit road to get service looked
pace
at.
car speed
It's gonna
is
be Mark
55
Morales,
miles per hour.
As well as Ethan Smith and Eric Stamp still in pit road, getting repairs done. Those
All right,
that pitted
Dakota,
on our
the pace
previous
car is just left.
caution, Thomas Green, Danny Cochran, Vincent Sora, they were the ones that were moving the best on that restart, as they moved up 3 positions for the 3 of them, up to now 15th, 16th, and 17th.
Pace car speed is
Still a lot of work
55
if they
miles
want to
per
get back
hour.
up front, but strategy's always a gem to watch on how these drivers can go back and forth with the different calls on tires or not. And after last week's strategy called events, we saw the
Follow
2
car
stop
number
and the 3
18.
stops
The
on how you
outside
want to
column.
use your
Pace car's
tires
in
to
this lap.
fuel. Zach, I feel like tonight it's a little bit more of an absolute. If this race goes green, it is a 2 stop from here.
Yeah, I completely agree, Sam. I think no
Pace
brainer
car is
Tyler's
just
bumper
left.
says
that.
go away.
You know, you talked to Nick Crawford.
Oh, nice.
Off the wall strategies. I said, what kind of strategy you got tonight? He said, plain vanilla strategy. Nothing out of ordinary. He says he doesn't want to change anything up because this race is
Pace car
just going
speed
to
is 55 miles per hour.
I mean, that was a fun conversation. I was also listening in with the Cannon Fire team, and the way that Nick was describing, all right, I threw out my strategy last week. You can't blame me this week on what you guys do. That was kind of fun to hear the team dynamic.
Pace car is just left.
Of who's willing to do the strategy calls, who's not. They also said their math person for their team is Joshua Kanata. He's usually the one who's trying to figure out the fuel mileage runs, who can make it as far as they can go.
Pace car speed is 54 miles per hour. The pace car is in turn 3.
Or is it going to be the drivers from Elwood Esports Design?
The pace car is just left.
As Alan Elwood, Nico Garcia, as well as Richard Thomas, both are all 3 of those drivers inside of the top 10, looking quick. They seem to be the
Green flag, we're racing.
Is Noah Steele going to have his first attempt on this restart to be the driver on the outside
Car inside.
control vehicle? As the
line.
lingering ahead, trying to get the timing
Still there.
right for when this 4 machine decides to go.
Still
As
there.
We're about to enter the restart zone. We're green once
Still
again
there.
for the Battle of Advance 200. As Alan
Clear
Elwood
inside.
enters the restart zone, take off and go, and he timed that thing perfectly as Nico Garcia follows through into second place for the 78.
Car in front
that's
is
perfect.
Taylor.
Like you said,
Car
that
number
was just
19.
well
And their
worked
rating is
there.
1.9.
1-2 for the Elwood Designs group there, and now it's going to be Noah Steele on pole set, fighting
321.
22. And Joshua Stovall, who's done a great
Car
job
inside.
6th here. Now we're fighting for a top 3
Hold your line.
position.
As driver that was down on the
Hold that
apron,
line.
Eric Stamp, who's back out on track 2 laps
Still
down.
there.
And still lingering with some damage to work
Still
with.
there.
But a lot of the drivers up front, top 4 in line.
Still there.
Battling for 5th on back that are side by side. And it's
Hold
really
that
around
line.
that 5th, 6th, 7th position
Clear low.
where it is a cluster
Got a
of
car on the low
drivers
side.
packed right on top of one another.
Still
And now
there.
lingering to the top is Nick Crawford looking for
Hold
a
your line.
nose to get on the outside of Thomas. Not able to do so. Instead,
Hold your line.
they'll follow the drivers on the outside.
Hold your
Diving
line.
down low, it's Eric. It's going to be
Your
trying to
inside's clear.
jump for a moment, but backs out, and he needs to because they're squeezing
You all right?
cars here. This is all battling for 16th
My screen blacked out for a second.
Oh, damn.
Zach, I don't know how they're still running straight, but you can tell Trent Jump wants to send it 3 wide, but continues to back out early.
The 99 of Michael Miller there driving it super deep. Not allowing that 46 to go to that inside. He's trying to be on 37, but I think it's going to be to no avail because now he's going to get put in the second row behind that in the middle with the 74 Crawford on the outside and the 46 to jump again. As now the 99 finally slides down in front of the 46, but it's going to be the 74 to the quarter panel, and that's what you don't want to give up. You allow someone to get to that quarter panel, you're so vulnerable for not being able to exit the corner the way you need to by letting the truck slide out towards the wall. When you have a truck on that outside, it is so tough to exit to speed.
It's still there.
On screen. Ticker Michael Miller continues to run the inside room. You see Trent Jump
Still there.
the outside. Wants to follow the driver. So he's going to take this lead in the race. And Nick Crawford is looking faster. So Crawford can be slightly still there ahead. That outside wall up of 4 is creeping for both of them. And it's going to be the Creed machine. Big wiggle that keeps us still there. Throttle almost fully clear and out. Jump stern.
You're on the inside.
Am I just not pushing these damn tires hard enough or what? Like, I don't understand, man.
Third race. Your lap time was at
He's definitely going to be that tire.
Car outside.
By going in that deep.
Clear on the outside.
Side, but he's trying to fight for positioning because he knows if he keeps giving up these spots, like I think right here more than anything, you need to just almost roll over for Trent Jump and try to get in line because if you wait too long, you battle Trent Jump, you allow the likes of maybe Isaac Shelley back here on this outside.
Outside is clear.
Fighting up to your right rear quarter panel, and then you're just getting trained backwards.
Well, the problem is
car outside.
Pitted on lap 10. They are marching
still there.
Forward, just
okay, Dakota. The next car is car number 97. Their rating is 2.0. Clear outside. 22nd place.
They have been staying low on the inside and just forcing drivers up high. There's the 3, leading those that have already pitted. You see the grace of the wall. I believe it was the 99. I mean the 77 of Malik Kuntz. These drivers
caution.
Oh my god, dude.
Like, I just want to ask, what are we doing back here, man? We're in 28. Why are we driving it like we're very caution? Defense closed.
Stack-ups can lead to big things for sure, and we've seen that already happen here once tonight as now.
Dude, my bad. I think they did now.
Check up right there. I thought we were just coasting to the turn. Clear. This truck was caution's out.
What'd you say? Sorry.
Caution's out. And
they probably did now.
Yeah, no, we stay out.
It looks like
John there.
Well, I'm probably gonna stay out.
I got rear-ended immediately too.
Same. I'm probably gonna go to that 60 mark.
I was gonna say I can't use 2 sets of tires
Charging into the corner.
in the first 25 laps. That's just stupid.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, not everybody's pitting it, looks like. Okay.
John Forbes taking the big blimp, and you see Smith contact with the 11, and then Jared Talmadge.
The pace car speed is 55.
There's like no tire fall off or something? Jeez.
Again, another stack up accordion of.
I would have thought for sure some the front runners would have pitted.
A little bit closer.
Pace car is out. Pits.
Maybe they're trying to go to their fuel number at this point.
Maybe.
You're all good, by the way, Josh. I didn't know we were slowing up either, man, so I hope you don't have too much energy.
These drivers driving in there. He thought the 11 might.
But you know these guys are gonna slap on some freshies. They're gonna be fucking full bore.
Set up the exit and sends him around, but you know Smith goes up into the wall while Trent Forbes. I mean, he completely drifts around the whole corner. Doesn't touch a thing. So, you know, just hurt tires for the 11.
They're gonna be right behind us too.
John Forbes will have to make a decision of do I take
Nick and then Josh and everyone behind him.
Going to pit road for this go around. 28 laps in.
Yep.
For some, this is their first.
That's what I'm saying. Full send, baby.
It's Nick Crawford going to go into pit road, and talking with Nick Crawford, he was thinking about going with an odd strategy. 2 tires will seem to be the call. He wants to loosen up this truck, and a couple of other drivers curious if they're going to follow this.
All right.
4 tires and fuel.
Well, we restarting 15th. It looks like here.
From 19th on back.
Whereas the guys with Fresh Bond is.
Yeah, it'll loosen that truck up a little bit. So.
We'll
see how that helps the balance. Does it help? Does it hurt? Does it hate? You know, sometimes this is for more of a takeoff balance. You know, it could help his takeoff speed.
We need to follow car number 44 in the inside lane. Okay, Dakota, get ready. Race will resume at the end of this lap.
Early in the race, you know,
still don't know if I'm not pushing hard enough or if I'm
sometimes looking for maybe
going too hard. I don't think definitely don't think I'm going too hard.
I mean, at this point, it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah, apparently.
Alan Elwood, Nico Garcia Also going to be seeing Noah Steele and Richard Thomas going to be the drivers.
I honestly didn't expect to have 3 cautions in the first 20 laps either, though.
In 6th with Thomas Green, Vincent
I did not
either.
finishing
out our top 10. So those lights are on for stacks.
I would have expected more last week at Atlanta.
Racing. And if you have been watching for us here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting in the past, you're excited to be seeing WSSR.
All right, restarting on the inside row here.
Be back to racing action beginning of May. That's right when the playoffs are going to be happening with the ISRC Truck Series. We'll be back to 2 races a week. We've been missing the WSSR Cup Series. It's been kind of weird, Zach. I'd say just doing 1 broadcast a week. I know it doesn't throw you off as much, but it throws me off just doing 1 race because I'm so used to doing 2
Okay, Dakota, the pace car is just left.
Kind of weird to settle back in once the weekend's over.
Yeah, I get in the normal flow too because
Green flag.
I'm racing 2 times a week, broadcasting once a week.
I'm taking it easy here,
Really,
John.
the past few weeks I haven't been doing nothing. So
Get a car on your outside.
Alright, I'll go high here.
Just
P15.
Decent restart that time.
But it'll be back soon enough.
Hold your line.
Cannot wait to see those action cars back on track
Hold
for
your line.
season 11 of the WSSR Cup Series.
Still there.
But we're back giving you the
You're
coverage of the
outside.
Truck Series into the restart zone and
Full
green
course
once
caution. Watch
again.
out.
Elwood, Nico Garcia going to be the top 2 as they take off and go down into turn number 1.
Every race, someone's got to be in
Teammates
front record.
trying
Every
to
time.
stay together as
I
now
thought I
have
was
all
clear.
3
Wasn't clear.
God knows,
design
damn it.
drivers in line trying to stay ahead of Steele and Trent Jump.
It doesn't look like it, but I have lower detail mirrors, so it doesn't look like it.
And it's the 5 Dakota Moniz going around for himself and multiple other drivers.
Yeah, my race is shot.
When it's the entry of turn 3, looking like a mess with all the drivers
Pace car
spinning
speed is
around.
55 miles per hour.
Man, I was
Pace
just
car is
saying
in
that was a
turn 3.
good-looking start
Pace
for
car
a
is
lot
just
of
left.
building.
Of course, yellow. It's
I
alright.
see a truck out of nowhere just shoot left, and I think that was this 5 machine here is he's got this Slim Shady machine. I love that. I love that paint scheme that he's got going on there.
Oh, I'm
You
gonna
see
hop
off
off.
the exit corner.
All right,
Oh,
man.
just 2 drivers coming together. I believe that was can't see what number that
That was
was.
just, that was, I believe that was the 97 of Justin Forbes in Dakota that did get together. Yeah. That was the battle for 4th place between those 2. Justin Forbes,
Pace car's in the tri-oval.
Uh,
Catch up to
Machine
car number
and Slim Shady
77.
getting together right in front of the field, and that's a worst case scenario.
Watch
To
your
have a
speed.
driver spin out and overcorrect back into the field. We're the 3 wide, nowhere to go. And this piles in multiple drivers
Box in,
into this
5,
incident. And
4,
during this wreck,
3,
Ryan Ferraro in the
2,
10 machine. A lot
Box
of
now.
damage. He's backed out of this race. Looks like it is done for Ferraro, and that could be the
Eric,
snuffed
you
out
good?
done for trying to make even the
Right
playoffs
front,
for the 10 machine.
93%.
Well,
Left front,
I
94%.
understand that the black car I have
even that will be
by
tough too.
instead of just wait till
Keep those points in the top 20. So we'll see how that works
I
out.
did
But
not know this info.
even for Joshua Stovall, Ali Fonseca, they were having great runs here in the top 5 before all this. And there's, like you said, worst case scenario, the 5
usually
goes
people
left, and
don't,
it
you know,
comes
just
back
kind of wait
around
till the
to
last minute, let
right
everyone buy them
in
like.
front of the field like that. That is,
Uh,
I mean, 3 wide.
I had a lot of damage from that.
multiple
Actually,
rows
I'm
deep.
just cheering
Not
on
many
left.
people are going to make it through that.
The big thing that with Nashville Super Speedway, it's got the Super Speedway in the name, but it's actually a pretty slow track. And distance, it's 1.33 miles. It runs very similarly to other 1.5-mile tracks, but much slower. So contacts that we saw there with us coming off the exit of the corner weren't as brutal as they could have been. Ryan Ferraro, the only one calling it.
Pace car is in, turn 4.
Pit road, getting slight damage repaired for some others. Able to just settle in. This has been an awkward start to tonight. 32 laps
Follow car
already in
number
the
60
books.
in the
This was
outside
not the start of the
column.
race. I
Go
was
green next
expecting
time
we were
by.
going to be going green probably for 40 to 50
pace
laps
car is
before
in,
we got our
turn
first
1.
caution, but we've been riddled with them here in the first 30.
Danny, I liked it
That
better
would
when
happen.
I was on your
I
outside.
mean, literally, when I come in here and sit down with this, I thought we would see
Say again, Logan.
a very much stronger.
Oh, man.
I said I liked it better whenever I was
That's-
the one on the outside. And
That,
then
that is the thing.
My tires are fucked
this
now,
track
too.
here can
I like the
kind of
outside better
lose
myself,
flags
honestly.
just due to the fact
Feels like
that
there's more
it
options.
is tough to pass. You have people really fighting to make passes
Agreed.
on a preferred groove, which is the bottom when you're by yourself.
I'm more of a
But
bottom
when
guy.
you're side by side, the preferred groove's on the outside, so it kind of makes that awkward dance of
Yeah,
oh, I
interesting
want to
there.
pass to the inside 'cause
Also,
I'm
is
faster,
there a Dilla
but
Waffle
now
House
you're on the
tonight
outside
that
on my
people
door and I
wanna-
can't carry as much speed, so it kind of comes into
There
those
might be.
battles
I've been
where
told there's
you
a
play
new
chicken
waffle,
and
so
next thing you know, people
we
wreck
might
you off
have
the
to-
exits of the corner.
might have to
And,
make
of
an
course, that
appearance.
net code come up tonight too, so we've had a few
I'm rooting for it.
unfortunate incidents.
A couple of
Where you at,
unfortunate
77?
circumstances happening in the has been all Elwood Designs Esports, dominating top 3 positions.
Well, we'll see how much the damage affects us. It was only 17 seconds somehow, but...
The pace car is just left.
Thomas, they continue to run where they're at. As Noah Steele, our pole sitter, needs to find a different way to get around. It just seems like once the teammates took the lead, they have been in complete control of these restarts, timed it perfectly.
324.
It's down to the team. The rest of the drivers, how can they get around this four? If there's a later time or if there's a caution that sends the 4 and go.
I already tell you my tires are going to be fucked.
And space car is off. Re-enter the restart zone. The Battle of Ants 200 presented by Lariat Productions is back underway. And it's a great launch for the 4, and it's a wall for second on deck.
That is a wall for sure. As Thomas is going to be side by side with Nico Garcia there.
Still there.
1, 2, 3 for the moment for Elwood Designs.
Still there.
Trump's going to try to break that up. As now he's right on the back bumper of the 37 down the back straightaway. He thought for a moment to look to the inside.
Got a full
just got better of it.
You guys.
The driver is going to be on top one another. It's going to be St. Thomas as well as Garcia. Be careful of one another on the exit of 4. As Trenton jump. How much patience is left under this 46? Looks like he wants to take off and go.
I didn't need to apologize to Nice because I didn't. I mean, even if it wasn't.
I might not pick it up.
It is Justin Smith in the 45 going around.
Another instant into the entry of the corner. I think this is one of those instances where it's 3 wide and 3 drivers squeezing in.
Danny, you didn't hear me, but there's a new starter at Short Cake Waffle, so I think we're going to have to go.
This happens a lot here, especially this track, because you get up out of really that 3rd group, and you get into the 4th group, it is not a lot of grip. So a lot of times when you're in that 3rd group, you kind of pitch that guy down in that 2nd group. But
I think the backup will see it.
Yeah, I think, like you said, if we back up here a little bit, we'll see this, and it's involving the 24 Fonseca and also the 45 Justin Smith.
It's open. Race car is out. Line up single file behind car number 42.
You're going to see it here. I mean, the drivers are stacking up very much the wall off the exit of turn 4.
Race car speed is 55 miles per hour. The race car has just left.
The issue in a way, he could have backed out, but...
Alright, Dakota, you're ahead of this guy. You should be behind him. We need to follow car number 16. We need to catch car number 42. We need to allow car number 42.
What is going on? Oh, okay.
Are happening. It's been a lot of
pace car is out. Pits are closed. Race car speed is 55 miles per hour.
That's for sure, yeah. You know, they definitely, it don't matter the extent of the yellow sometimes. It just matters how sideways you're on the track sometimes. So, definitely, Justin Smith liking the fact that that yellow did at least come out. That lets him at least go get this truck worked on. And really, for the hit he took to the wall, you can barely tell he even touched it. So, like you said, Sam, we've had a lot of incidents here tonight, but not a lot of major damage. So we're keeping that field nice and big, and also a lot of trucks on the lead lap to make these restarts that much more
Some of the leaders still haven't pit. Yeah, that's crazy work.
Looks like it is going to be the 00 of Ethan Smith, going to be given our Lucky Dillo Award, as he's going to be 1 lap down. Well, welcome back to the lead lap for Ethan Smith, as the Lucky Dillo Award is kind of like the Lucky Dog Award. Whoever is given the award gets a free pass to go around and get one of their laps back, as long as they're not involved with the past incident and they are the furthest up ahead of the drivers that are a lap down. Congratulations to Ethan Smith, who gets back on the lead lap, and this 00 looked quick. Again, it's all because
Catch
of
up to car number 16. Race car's coming in this lap.
By just 200
car
feet,
number
didn't get
18.
to the line.
The outside lane
ended. But I think a big question for Ethan Smith for this evening, if this continues to spiral out of control, is the what if I had qualified better, how my race could have changed up.
That's for sure. The Concrete King definitely would like a concrete track to be a better opportunity for him, for sure. And the biggest thing too, I'm like looking at his racetrack right now. Since he's
as long as I don't have any fucking front or nose damage.
You know, he did take a decent sized hit there, but it looks like the crew cleaned it up pretty nicely. Now, like we said, biggest thing he's got to fight is track position, and he's on the back foot of that. But definitely seen him in the past be very strong at these style tracks. So Ethan, I'm sure after that strong.
I just remember giving damage to, I think it was either Vinny or John, and they were losing the rest of the race.
I want to say thank you to the amazing sponsors of the ISRC Lariat Productions Truck Series. Being the title sponsor of Lariat Productions. Go check out Lariat Productions on all social media sites, YouTube, Instagram. go see great comedy and review content. It is a blast to watch. I love watching Larry reviewing some of the odd
Race car has just left.
meals, drinks that fast food companies come out with, and seeing his thoughts on it. We also want to say thank you to Morecast, who's the
green, let's go.
Clear on the inside. Throughout the season where drivers have the opportunity to win a little bit of extra cash. We also want to say thank you to Dilla Motorsports team, who sponsors the Lucky Dilla Award. Redless Graphics for being the white flag sponsor as well. I want to say thank you to you, the fans, for watching and supporting your family, friends that are drivers out on course. Green flag is going out on track for the Battle of the Bands 200, presented by Larry Productions. And it is the inside row. Big shove by Trent Jump. He does not want to sit and linger. The 46 right on the back bumper of Alan Elwood as they exit out 2.
Breaking up that Elwood inside trio is Trent jumping now right up in the mix. And
Hold your line.
He's bringing along the 3 atomic screens. Remember,
still there.
He's so frustrated
We're dropping like a rock, so it doesn't matter.
That, but he slides on the track there a little bit, 37 right on the door. Green gonna have to reformulate how to get around.
That contact out the exit of these corners is gonna be a big thing to watch out for.
Almost had some Josh on Josh violence there.
A couple of moments of rushing the wall, almost getting
sure
into
did.
another. It is simply green.
I didn't expect you to check up like that.
Tires safe for the 15 on the outside. That's Vincent Sora, who's been pulling the bump and moves drivers forward. If he gets a big run, you better expect that front bumper to give contact as he's now got to back off and resell for another exit.
Okay, Dakota, the next car is Smith.
Oh boy, Miller goes around into the grass is the 5. That's off the racing surface, so we stay green. But a big slide for Miller as he now has to get back on course safely.
He's going to be dead last on the field now. So back to 27 for that 99 machine. And
B25, just done at 13.57
here very much tonight. And that's just because the close racing and how tough it is. It's 3 wide here. Farther back, I believe it's Cody Reed right in the middle of this. He's going to want to stay out of this mix.
Cody Reed has the freshest of tires. Watch out, contact being made. As that's Logan Brinky as well. That's Cody Reed off the exit at corner number 4. Reed's trying to push forward with this Hatsude Miku machine. Going forward, constant combination of Larry Art Productions and
B26.
Teal white machine. Fresh rubber, and he's moved up quickly for himself up to 12th.
And now we're gonna have a long green run all of a sudden.
That pitted 14 laps ago. Can he make this outside lane work, or is he going to overcook those tires? And John Forge has been involved with multiple incidences. He's now challenging for that 12th place.
That is, John Forbes just never ceases to give up. This man can be in 15 wrecks, and somehow he'll be fighting for a top 5.
The guy ahead of us is Morales.
Walking down, so he was just that good. He almost seems like he's got 9 lives out there.
No doubt. Also,
green car number 3 is now leading.
Was seen by John Force going around. It was Cedric Hunter who
We did well.
Helped John just might win this race.
Oh, he ran John in the back, you know what?
We've seen John Force have at every racetrack we go to. I wouldn't be surprised by it. As Ollie Fonseca now giving the big push to the 11 and all the way, getting into Noah Steele, drifting once again, giving space to the 11, and he holds on for another incredible stage.
You're gonna talk all that shit about how I'm lost.
John was just going to ask, what am I doing tonight?
Why do you think people do it?
Everyone run into me because, man, that is a tough break for a great save.
I don't know what the hell we're doing back here, man. Jesus Christ, 20th
This
place.
man has been beaten up and bruised tonight for sure, Sam.
The 44 just overdrove and knocking the left
It's not
rear.
even the driver who's making the last contact. It's 2, 3
just,
drivers
even ahead of
that's
us,
giving the
man.
bump.
Like,
That's initiating.
God, we're not going to win from back here.
Take
Take it easy.
Great saves all around. Another save. You can see back of that shot. Is the
Last 2 corners, he's overdrive, trying to take me out.
Okay, Dakota, the next car is Kanata, car number 16. Their rating is 5.1.
Another as the 18 of TJ Calloway trying to push forward for himself.
Everybody, I think, trying to put forward for themselves in this one because they want to get out of this mix. And just shows you, I think, the drivers now stayed out on those old tires. They have really still held on pretty well. Thomas Green has made his way up to second, but Elwood's still first. Trying to jump up there in the 3rd spot, and Richard Thompson holding on the 4th. But we'll see if it goes long. I think
I think this damage on the right and left side is affecting us.
Because I think the strategy is kind of up in the air right now.
It certainly is, because for the drivers that haven't pitted, if we had stayed green, the fuel money we were given was around 60 laps. So we push it that far. Some drivers
front is Mark, car number 44, C license. Their rating is 4.5.
100. So you can still
last lap was at 30.83.
Caution coming up. Going long might be the better strategy to be to just wait on a caution, even if your tires aren't there. And if we stay clean and green, loose tires will be the better ones to watch out for. This is one driver of note, 6th place runner, Nick Crawford. He is, again, took 2 tires. This was a strategy call that he was interested to see how it was going to work out. Up to 6, he's moved up quite well. He's the highest runner of those that pitted 20 laps ago. And he is trying to run down our leader, running 30.90 to Alan Elwood currently.
Doing a great job, on those 2 tires, so it's worked well for him. We'll see. I mean, his truck looks like he can really get to the bottom. That's one thing I've noticed is able to paint the yellow line there, so to say, with that left front, and that allows you to get a little bit of clean air if that driver in front of you is not able to get as low as you. So that really can help you through that corner entry and exit phase. As you can see, our high entry compared to the 37 cuts down the center to get out of the air. So great job here. Just utilizing a better line, and now I'm going to look to the inside. Just showing those tires are working very, very well for him.
They certainly are. As Nick Crawford makes this pass, we'll keep our camera on here, but we want to give a note to one of the fan favorites of Joshua Stovall. He pitted under a last caution. 42 is up to 12th and is running as one of the fastest drivers out on track. He looks quick, even with getting damage repairs. It's just a lot of drivers to get by before you can move forward, as he just makes the pass on Nico Garcia to move up into 11th position is Stovall. As we are finding ourselves 1/3 of the race in, looking through, we got a couple of big movers throughout this race. The biggest mover so far, back in 17th position, challenging with Simon Garcia. That is TJ Calloway. Currently, our Whiplash Simcam's biggest mover of the race in our first 50 laps here tonight.
Great job by TJ to climb his way through, and hopefully he can continue to be in that position for the majority of the night. It's going to be tough, of course, for John Forbes there. Got to keep both down.
I guess the truck might be okay.
But definitely a great job so far throughout the night for the 18.
Okay, Dakota. Lap time's pretty consistent.
His work is the 18 machine as a following suit with Cody Green, and was looking through on how some of these drivers can make some big passes.
You got a car inside.
Some drivers that officially called it in that car.
It's still there.
Ryan Ferraro,
They're on the left side.
Like how much do you
well
need?
has called it a night.
Car inside.
With 29 drivers out on track.
Still there.
With only a total of 27 on the lead lap.
Still there.
One lap down, being multiple laps down, I should say.
Hold your line.
Oh, I'm not trying to be that guy, but when enough people get pissed off of you, eventually it's
some drivers
a
fading
problem.
quickly. Nico Garcia, Noah Steele, Zach, they haven't pitted yet. We're expecting to
Like, you can't just make contact with so many people and it not be your fault.
Continuing to lose a lot of time. I would say pitting earlier, sooner than later.
Yeah, these tires are shot.
Yeah, especially those two, because they just kind of got swamped by the tires. That's the interesting thing that happens sometimes is some of these drivers will hang on pretty well with the older tires just due to the track position gain that they have from being out here. And then you have the few that kind of get stuck in that middle phase and they just kind of get used up. And it's kind of what's happened to the 78 and they're running, I mean, right on pace with our leaders up front. It's just they've lost so much time to them due to those older tires getting themselves in the middle of this fight.
Still there.
Not able to hang on as well as the others.
Still there. Still there. Hold that line.
You see the cluster where we're going to see a caution.
Still there.
Might be around this group. It's single Garcia, time
Hold your line.
Dangler, bringing out a different scheme
Hold
this
your line.
evening. As we're seeing that team.
The guy ahead is Morales, car number 91.
Why they won't go through
Clear outside.
3 wide. It's Joshua Kanata, Ethan Smith, and Justin Smith. Going to be 3 wide for a quick moment. As Justin Smith rips the top, and that's an aggressive power move by the 45 to keep that position. As Ethan Smith.
That might have been the cleanest bumping run I've ever gotten in this week.
22nd position. Kind of a shocker to see Kanata and Ethan Smith this far back, with the damage is showing.
I'll give you the dirtiest bumping run right now.
Drivers from even competing where maybe they felt like
Now.
It is tough, you know.
I don't
you
got
go
that
back
in the
foot
slider,
track
Cody.
position game again. It's just got to be that much
bet you
faster
would.
to be able to make passes. And sometimes you can be quicker than that driver ahead, but if you're not, you know, a tenth quicker, it's not going to be easy to get it done. So you got to get what you can here early. That's why a lot of people push very hard, but now tires start to get a little bit more. Definitely starting to see a little bit of struggle, but to tell you what also we're having is we've had great battles back here. Vincent he's climbed his way up to second. He's about to have an opportunity to fight the 4. The 3 of Thomas Green wasn't able to kind of formulate the way to get to the inside of this 4 here and get it done. I think this 15 though, he might have the speed to do it because right now.
Oh man.
Where will Vincent Sora place this 15 machine? Because he was pushing and wooing the 3 forward and throughout the run
behind is
to get
increasing.
to this
It's
top
now
position.
1.06.
Now Thomas Green overusing those tires really doesn't have the fight anymore. He'll linger in 3rd, but Vincent Sora trying to figure out how to get by Alan Elwood. This is going to be his first attempt to the inside. Going to be side by side, almost dead even down into turn number 1. Sora sticking to that yellow line. Elwood trying to stay to the outside quarter panel, not able to do so. Sora will drift up, and that's the pass for the lead. Elwood, he'll give the push, the bump on the back stretch, not able to do the crossover move. As Sora now going to get clean air, and this is going to be the first time for the night. What does the 15 have in this spacing? They got to be careful because behind them are 2 drivers that look quick and look to be some of the fastest on track. That's 4th place runner Nick Crawford and Jared Talmadge in 5th. They look fast, but they got some traffic to get by.
That's for sure. Yeah, Crawford was looking quick on those 2 tires. Has done a great job, and he's going to run that high entry again and use the cut down through the center to get a great run to the inside of the 3 machine here. He's going to look to get into that top 3.
That was
I wouldn't say watch out for Jared Talmadge. He's on 4 tires too, compared to Crawford's 2 tires. So that's going to be, I think, an interesting situation. Then you got to look all the way back to around 10 is where Joshua Stovall will be, and he's on the next freshest set of tires. So it is definitely a 3-layered strategy right here.
It certainly is. Danny Cochran trying to hold back this 42 machine forward and will do so. As Danny Cochran going to give the push in the bump on the back stretch to help 42 get back up to speed.
Sorry, car number 15 is now
settle in, buckle in. There's a lot of racing still left here this evening. We're not even halfway, and here's another cluster of drivers that are going back and forth. It's Cody Reed once again in the thick of things as he's got Nico Garcia around them with going to be Joshua Kanata shipping it to the inside, to the yellow line. Garcia backs out. Cody Reed holds steady in the center. Throttles up maybe a little bit too soon. It's got to back out, and it's Kanata with the better run off the exit. That 16 looks strong here as this leader run continues to grow.
Kanata's getting better and better as the laps click away, and that's when sometimes passing can get a little bit easier. You start to wear the tires just so Kanata into the outside wall. Now it's going to give the opportunity to 25 or Reed. I thought for opportunity to get to the outside to get the quarter panel.
Realizes their rating is 1.8.
Not fight his team.
Cannon Fire Racing teammates, I was about to eat my words.
Outside, that time was 31.56.
See those 2 drivers make contact.
Hold your line.
I think for Reed, for a quick moment, thought maybe I'll bounce into the outside, thinks better of it, and instead single file out between this grouping. As Logan Reiki runs in 14th position to lead that train of drivers. We fall to Ollie Fonseca.
Car in front is Morales, car number 91.
Linker mode in 6th place. He's got behind him Trent Jump, Isaac Shelley, as well as Richard Thomas. Just where do you want to go? Really is the question with Ollie Fonseca.
Basically a 1 stop from here.
Used half your fuel.
He was caught up in the
24. That last lap was 31.65.
Runs in 6th place. He's looking very strong currently with that on-ball different strategy of taking tires 35 laps ago.
It really does look strong. I mean, compared to the likes of Nick Crawford and Jared Talmadge, he is quicker than both of them. So 24 looking good on his long run pace, and Ollie's kind of continuing that trend. You know, we talked about it, like you said, during the points. He's making a big climb, and it's not out of the realm where he can still get it done to get in the top 12 if he has some great runs. So Fonseca, I think, needs to just put his head down and continue what he's doing. He is clearly on the right path.
Yeah, I mean, he's ahead of all the drivers that he needs to be ahead of currently. So other battles are happening up front. The battle for second now underway with Jared Talmadge and Alan Elwood. As Talmadge goes to the inside, Elwood's just going to fall in line, and it just looks like it's a losing battle at this point. Not surprised. Elwood hasn't pitted. He's on 60.
He said he was pitting in, or am I tripping? Yeah, he did say that. Oh yeah, I guess these are people that haven't pitted yet.
It's now 1.25.
Fuel is getting close to the
37 setting, 37 setting.
There's a car on your inside.
But, you know, looking at all
Still there.
Who currently runs in points.
Hold your line.
He's got Luke Ricky right from Danny Cochran,
On the low side.
Garcia. Those are the drivers that are in between him and getting to 12th in points. And
I'm struggling tonight, boys and girls. Not my best race, that's for sure.
Okay, Dakota, the next car is 3 laps behind. P21, that was 32.16.
Here tonight could shoot him right to that cutoff line. As Elwood now into pit road.
7J sitting here, 7J sitting here.
This is an interesting timing for him too, because lap 66. This puts it into a scenario where it's not going to be one stop for him. He's not going to be able to have that opportunity to do it. My question is, who is going to try that from the other drivers? You know, I really feel like if you pitted, you know, the likes of, you know, John.
Well, they're going to have to pit one more time still, technically, if it goes green.
If you pitted in that group, you could possibly make a one stop out of this.
Yeah, there is plenty of time. What, 60
24,
laps?
pitting this joy!
Further than that, if you can fuel save and how you run this course. I know for some drivers, they're shifting down to third later in the run to keep good pace. Others might stay down in fourth gear for the whole entire run. And looking at where those drivers are at currently, they need to get to lap 90. They need to go another 20-ish laps. I mean, they could get to that window they're looking for.
You've just done a 51.78.
Go pushing forward, so it is in the realm of possibilities for some of the drivers to one stop, while others are forced to stop.
Fastest lap for
That's for
Villa,
sure. I mean,
29.92.
right now, I mean, the likes of even Jared Talmadge and Nick Crawford, I think they possibly even have that same opportunity, because
I guess I'll see how off the pace I am with new tires, huh?
You know, there were only about 17 laps difference between them and Vince Sora, so they're nearing the point where if Vince Sora can get within 17 laps of that number, you know, lap 90, they can do it too.
Josh
Very much wide open trench up now going to be entering pit road. Last the drivers that need to pit that haven't so far here tonight.
Still there. Morales in front is now 1.36.
So far.
Clear low.
Still out on course. No signs of pit road just yet. As he now
Guy in
just
front
makes
is
the call over
4
the radio that
laps
he's behind
behind.
pit road. And this will be those drivers that have to pit.
B16, gap 2, TJ behind is now 1.30.
Who can make it to lap 90?
There's a car outside, 3 wide, you're in the middle.
Even on lap 90.
Clear inside.
You're looking forward, if you can't stretch it that far.
Clear on your right and left.
Are you willing to stretch your fuel for that final pit stop?
Car high.
Logan Brinky goes into pit road. Seen a couple of other battles happening with Tyler Dankler.
We are clear up high.
There's Alan Elwood. There's the speed difference of having 40 lap fresher tires than your competition around you.
There's a car on the low side.
Greatly different.
P15, you've just done
For us on the booth, as we're closing in
Clear on the inside.
we're going to take a quick commercial break as we've got ourselves an incredible rest of this run. Who's got the better strategy? Can you make it to turn this race into one stop from here, or are you forced into a two stop? We'll find out. It's the Battle of Vans 200 presented by
Caution would be great right now, huh?
This has been a fun one at Nashville Super Speedway. We'll be back for more truck racing action right after this.
Car inside. Still there.
P14,
Clear down low.
Okay, Dakota, the next car is a lap behind. The gap to P13 ahead is now 1.36.
Car inside. Still there. Clear low.
Jarrett, car number 27, is now leading.
Dude, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
The gap to TJ behind is now 1.00. The next car is one lap behind. Smith ahead is pitting. P13.
Thanks, Sam.
Car low. Clear on the inside. inside.
V12. That's halfway. We think about 70 laps of fuel remaining.
Clear low.
Okay, Dakota, the next car is 1 lap behind.
I don't think I'm the only one on this strategy here.
Is that a shit? Did I just heard?
Yeah, we're a little late off your number. We're here.
The head is now
Pitting.
1.52.
Setting here, setting, creeping.
Good consistency. Keep them coming.
Inside. Still there. You are clear low.
The next car is 1 lap behind. 10th position.
I'm just gonna run it dry. I might as well at this point. I'm committed. We're about to lose, right?
Take it bottom, likely.
P9. The gap to Morales ahead is now 1.13. The lap time was at 31.84.
Low. Hold your line. Clear on the inside.
The car ahead is 1 lap behind. You've just done a 31.74.
I think that's about as close as it gets, Trent.
That was kind of scary. I didn't expect it to be so scary. My bad.
No, I'm sorry.
I don't know if it was actually that close. I'm working with a different field of view. Car inside.
It felt close. My butthole
Still there.
fucker.
Clear on the inside.
That's usually the telling sign, I think.
Welcome back, ladies
Oh
and
my god, I pushed like a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah,
in front.
drop that rear weight and just get straight.
Back and forth for 14th position. Isaac Shelley as well as Thomas going back and forth. Thomas is just trying to get by Ollie Fonseca, who runs in third, and they're going to be forced going 3 wide. Ollie Fonseca backs out smartly and lets the drivers that have already pitted now go back into fight mode against one another. But these drivers that we're seeing on screen, they're not in a safe position because they're in a spot where a lot of them still need to one more pit stop. Pit a little bit too soon. That was the math calculations we were making under a commercial break. We are happy to have you with us once again. My name is Sam Tyre. I've got Zach Hall with me with Robert Moyer Jr. Ray Productions in the background. You're watching the ISRC Lariat Productions Truck Series, race number 7.
Oh, I did a little bit better job with my tires than Martin did.
Oh boy, hold on, Nick Crawford. Just seeing how slow these drivers that are up front. They are so off the pace. Over a 40 lap difference in tires and almost calamity for the driver running in second position. But tonight tonight's race has been a lot of strategy similar to last
I was
week
there.
in Atlanta. And Zach,
Jared,
there are
you
some
weren't there.
drivers that are
57
forcing
is
the
now
issue
leading.
on fuel.
Looks like I was.
They got a number they're looking for. They're trying to hit it.
Yeah, you launched it.
Yeah, we are. We're seeing it thinking, oh no! Whoa. So,
I mean, I'm not here to wreck anybody, but like, I'm not going to get stopped
again.
again.
I was there. Have to hold on the outside. Ollie Fonseca trying to get around at a 37. After being muscled and bullied, that group that we thought was going to run almost did.
Well, there with that strategy.
This has been the
We're
problem
under
with
caution.
the 37.
It's closed.
He's had
Pace
bad
car's
luck.
out.
That's
Line up
possible
single
to
file
finish it.
behind car number 91.
That was a tough break. I
Catch
think
up
the
to
two
car
were
number
showing the
91.
nose saying, I'm looking to the inside, I'm coming through. I think 37 said,
Pace car speed is
I don't want
96
to go to the
miles per
inside,
hour.
so
Holy
We need to
crap, I
catch
was
car
now
number
looking at the screen
42.
and not see the
knocked
truck
the door
parked.
open. Oh, it's the
Oh
yellow
my
flag.
god.
It's Stovall.
Martin, I thought you were about to kill him.
Also with Michael
Pace
Miller
car's in.
involved.
Turn 3.
Those two have had
Full course yellow.
history,
It's
and
open.
it's Stovall
I was
who
looking at the
loses
broadcast to see what
out,
happened,
this
and I
is
looked
right
back in
before
the
the pit
truck.
windows and
Pace
open
car
God,
for
just
one
left.
stop. And this
Okay, well,
changes
that's
everything.
that throws a wrench in things.
All of it.
Damn it! I think that strategy might have worked out pretty well for us.
Watched 11 tonight.
Pace car speed is 55
Michael was saying for
miles
you
per
to
hour.
go by me.
World has
The leader,
Hit,
Jared,
hit, hit.
is pitting.
squeezing through the middle. And it's just John
Pace
Force
car's
there.
in.
And the
Try
other two
oval.
weren't expecting it.
Means everybody got to take the wave around and
I don't
didn't
know if Stowe
get back on the lead lap.
was getting the call. That was 3 there.
What's your speed limit in the pits?
I don't know if that was the situation playing out. I believe
to
he
stop
does
again,
have a
catch
lead
the
down.
Damn it!
I just
Fox
think
hit
it's
on
Miller go
5.
down.
4.
Yeah, it's just
Force
situation.
force down into
2.
Stovall.
1.
It's
Not
just
really
a
what I
very
wanted to hear.
situation there for sure. The Stowe was trying to cover off, the 11, getting the run to the outside there.
Right
The 11
front,
gets to his quarter
59%.
panel.
Front left,
And then the 5's coming
87%.
down, or sorry, the 99's coming down as the one screen. And yeah, this is just an awkward situation, and one that has changed the whole complexion of the race because these drivers were in position.
I tried
to
so hard
make it on
without
that one
speeding.
stop.
It's just a
I
bizarre
was not
scenario that
speeding.
we've seen so many drivers back out of forcing these 3 wide situations happening in the corner. We're not racing for position, just trying to get through traffic quickly and efficiently. And
Pace car is in. Turn 3.
Nope, we're gonna have to pit again. Damn it, man! That strategy was gonna work. I bet, dude. Could have just got to the.
Pace car speed is 54 miles per hour.
Pit road is calling for everyone who's on
Oh well,
the lap.
it is what it is.
Gonna take the wave around
We'll have. I think we have 2 sets of tires left.
Position.
Yeah, we still have 2 sets. Hell yeah.
Hurt
Okay.
some. This
So
great
we're kind of back on
leader
strategy
shows
with
that did
everybody
not
as far as
pit yet.
tires, but
As Jared
yeah, if that
Thomas
would have
was
stayed
the
green, we
driver
probably
that
would have made it to
Crawford on
the
second, John
end.
Forbes and Joshua Kanata in 5th.
That's
I
unfortunate.
mean, it looks like
Oh, well.
it's almost being written on the wall. Zach
It's a whole new
with
ball game
Owen
now, and just like that, we're sitting in the top 10.
Car number 19.
Like what?
Outside
John
column.
Forbes is
Okay,
trying to call
Dakota,
his
get
shot
ready.
to go
Race
to
will
victory
resume at the
lane
end of this
tonight.
lap.
I mean, this is insane how it's played out, man. I tell you, and the way it's shaped up here. I don't know if y'all noticed the laps. It's lap
Well, this is interesting
88
because everybody,
right
all the
now.
leaders
So
have to take the
we
wave
are
around,
on
right?
the edge of the window. So if anybody's thinking about that's farther back,
Well,
that, hey, I want to go
all the
there
people
and
that
top off
didn't
and put
make
some
it back, I
extra
guess,
fuel in
get
my
their lap
car,
back.
this might be that situation that you want to do that because we are.
Well, this just shook the
literally
entire
on the
race
edge
up,
of
to
that
be honest with y'all.
So it looks like it's going to be the 91 Port Morales taking that choice to top off with fuel. Wave around Vincent Zora, as well as many of other drivers. As with so many drivers taking the wave around in Lucky Dogs, we do not know who had the Lucky Dilla award, but plenty of drivers are back on the lead lap that maybe wish they could have used this.
Although I don't think this is going to be the last caution,
Up front,
but
Talmadge and Crawford, they get ready for this takeoff and go moment. And if we stay clean and green, it could come down to who's got the better fuel-saving strategy, while being also the fastest. And we will find out
just
how
left.
this run will go. As the 3-time champ missed out on practice, missed out on qualifying, just made it
Green flag.
when the race started. John Forrest, we've talked about so many wrecks and incidences. He'll be starting on the outside in row number 2.
Seventh
He'll
position.
also have behind him the 19 of Tyler Taylor. Dakota Moniz is in the mix with the new faces and names. How will they hold strong up front? Let's find out as Talmadge gets ready to take us back to Green Flag Racing. The Battle of Vans 200, presented by Lariat Productions, is back underway.
Still there.
And
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't
Talmadge is
expect
looking
less
strong.
to drive
It's
down
the
there.
outside road, the big
now in the
push.
lead. We're in the
It's
middle.
going to be watching.
Holy sh!
Forbes is fourth.
Course caution.
Really
Sorry, Jared, I got shoved up in there. I was doing all like good spot here and it kept getting shoved up.
Behind car
Oh
number
man,
18.
Forbes was pushing.
what are we
this
doing?
right
Let's
here in the
Let's
corner.
do whatever we talked about now here in the mid.
Pace car speed
Great
is
job with all the
miles per hour.
Okay, well, now we can save more fuel, I guess. That kind of works out.
They're going to be 3-4 wide. Caution is out, and Tomic gets spun around.
You need to catch up to the guy ahead.
Chaos
Pace car
is
is in
ensuing right
turn
here.
3.
Guess what?
Holy shit, that was pretty crazy.
Given 3 fucking laps to settle out. I mean, we were just diving it in and using 16 other tires the fucking turn. That was incredible.
Yeah, I saw that shit in my mirror. That was crazy work.
And that was actually going to be the 37 who spun, who brought out the
She'll save
yellow.
here.
The actual yellow was thrown for the 37 spinning, but it was all the carnage after the fact that we got to see on camera.
Which I guess this works out for the people that took the wave around.
37, he took a little bit of a bump, I believe, it was Thomas Green in the 3, who might have actually took a
Pace
So
car
one of the
down.
admins
It's closed.
the car showing any black flags. I was avoiding wreck and slid into pit road.
another yellow.
Kind of dropped it in just to make sure it's not black.
Really, Jared Tallman's the one that had the worst situation play out right there, from going from the lead all the way to the back.
How much time?
Hey, usually the Lucky Dilla goes to the outside. Probably not full speed to the inside.
And the chaos just went down of drivers
Danny, can you check my right
trying to
front,
hold
please?
position, and it's just going back and forth on who's going to have the better spot. Ollie Fonseca stays low, throttles up. Talmadge trying to block the fence.
Catch up to car number
already there.
18.
And Talmadge gets spun around.
I didn't hit
but then
anything
they're
hard, my steering wheel just jerked really hard when I ran up in the chairs. I just wanted to double check. Thanks, buddy.
Where Talmadge gets spun around. Cody Smith also bounced into the grass as he had to go into the pits to get away from all that carnage. But big slide, big loss of position. See how Talmadge can recover as these laps tick away.
By the way,
That was wild stuff.
had
A few
him in.
drivers had to take some
37,
off-road excursions.
I do want to go back and look at that after
miss
the
out
race.
that all wreck. So
I
definitely
do still think I was
a
there.
wild
And I'm not trying to
situation.
sound like
And,
a
you know, like you
but
said there with Ollie,
if I didn't, I do
he
apologize.
was there. So I mean, really nothing he could have done more. It was just kind of he got to the bottom, didn't come up off that bottom groove, and the 27 thought he could cover it off, but
Follow car number
unfortunately this
00.
racing game is a game of inches, and
Don't know what he said.
End of this lap.
will end up backfiring.
Yeah,
And a lot of
I
our
can't really,
quote-unquote
really
favorites that we look out for, they are
I'll get up with you after the
sight. Our top 8 drivers,
But
this is
I
a
just-
bizarre
I wanna
class
apologize
to
for
see.
sounding
I think
like
we
a
looked
prick
at this
in
maybe a
that
couple of
exchange.
seasons back, maybe back around season 4 and 5.
Yeah, you're
I
good.
would say, I mean, this makes sense of the drivers that are up front. But the most recent seasons, these have not been the top drivers. But up front, it's Ollie Fonseca, Nick Crawford, Joshua Kanata, Tyler Taylor, Ethan Smith, TJ Callaway, the rookie, up to 6th position. Dakota Moniz, who spun around earlier and caused probably one of our biggest wrecks of the night. He's inside of our top 10, running at 7th. And Danny Cochran, who's been slowly muscling his way forward, runs in 8th position. We also got Trent Jump, Isaac Shelley, that are in the mix just outside the top 10. That's where we find Vincent Sora, pole center of Noah Steele. We'll see how well they can move their way forward. And then Alan Elwood, who's been dominating this race. Eastmeyer all the way back in 14th. I mean, Zach, this is going to be a long race for those drivers to march their way forward, but we've had 7 cautions. I got a feeling we might have a couple of more for the night. So
Okay, Dakota, the pace car is just left.
Well, you know, if we don't get any cautions, they got the time with the green flag laps. You know, it's going to be a very, very long one. So you got opportunity to
Green flag, we're racing. Clear left and right.
Like I said, we've seen the yellow flags, especially breed other ones. So we could very well have
8th place.
Well, fuel is
Still
no
there.
longer an
Free
issue.
wide, you're
It's
inside.
about who can be in the top spot when that
There's a
checker
car
flag
outside.
waves. Let's find out with Ollie Fonseca, Nick
Still there.
Crawford, how well will the teammates work with one another
Hold
up
your line.
front as it's all cannon fire racing.
Hold your line.
1, 2, 3, 4, take off and go.
Hold your
as
line.
it's Fonseca and Crawford with a great launch for themselves.
Still
Kanata
there.
also in the mix to watch out for. It's the
Still
first
there.
whip on
Three
that.
wide,
You
cars
have
left
to
and right.
wait and see what big moves
Hold
are
your
they
line.
willing to take.
Still
there.
It's so risky.
Inside.
The big slider for
3 cars wide.
Center 1 and 2. They
Consistency, keep
keep
it
it all
up.
together, but you can see
Still there. Inside
dipping
clear.
left and right, trying
We
to
got 3
find
cars.
a way
You're in the middle.
to the inside of the next truck ahead.
Clear on the high side.
It's going to be mayhem throughout the field.
Car inside.
Jesus, man.
It's a mixed hand. When it
Still
comes to
there.
drivers up here, 3 wide again. Trent Jump looking at the inside.
Hold your line.
Dakota Moniz and Isaac Shelley here.
Still
Right
there.
in the middle of the field.
And it's Trent Jump.
Still there.
Usually would back out.
But can we?
Right now it's
I'm dropping like a rock, bro.
Clear on the left and right. 14th.
Pushing forward, Jump cannot allow Vincent Sora
Or
or
John
others
on the
faster
lap and
to get by this 46 if he wants a chance to win. I am so sorry. He needs to defend and push forward as that's all the battle.
No, you're good. My spotter, for whatever reason, didn't call inside and you were definitely there.
And Joshua Kanata, we're going back and forth. They now see
yeah, I've been getting
line. And now it's Danny Cochran and TJ Calloway, 6th place position for the first that are side by side.
Everybody looking for
I thought you were about to be gone.
I know it is go time if you want to.
I didn't realize you were
on
on the front tires.
Joshua Kanata, the likes of that grouping. You got her win a race tonight. This could turn your whole season on the low side in front of me.
That already passed, but
still there.
Throttle hung, I'm not sure.
Still there.
You're clear inside.
Guess I'm just not driving this car. I mean, I do have damage, so that's probably not helping either.
Alright, Dakota, the pit window is now open. There's a car on your inside, 15th place. Hold your line. Hold your line. Hold that line.
Damn, Jared, give me some fucking space, dude. Shit.
Still there. Your inside's clear. Car on your low side. Hold your line. Hold your line.
Where you want to go to make these
clear inside.
made, because we're now in the zone. It's so tough to make even a single
17th place.
Sam, it is so tough.
Bro, spinning on the front stretch. Like, what the hell? Wait till I can check up. Stop.
3 wide again.
Clear up high.
Trick jump, being the aggressor on the bottom.
You guys are awesome. 4X that I've seen EQ has run over like 15 times.
Squeezed up to 18 at the wall.
Nah, brother, I don't want to fucking hear it.
Caution is yet to be thrown. More drivers
You're one
into
of
one
them.
another. That's going to be Labertone. We're still growing.
Bro, you race me like a dickhead every race. I don't want to fucking hear it.
Wow, what
It's the usual suspects, man.
I don't know what this guy could do different, Sam. He is literally...
How did iRacing not throw a yellow for that? John was perpendicular to the track.
Incidents up ahead. They just gets completely right in the back up about 45 here. You see, he sees that smoke. He can't really see.
Was there 2 separate deals? Because the one I saw in front of me was 18 for the wall and it straightened out like immediately.
Unfortunate timing.
Inside.
No, John was pirouetting across the track. Like that should have been yellow.
Oh, it's too late now. Can't throw it.
Yeah, he was 360 in on the front stretch.
Clear.
The yellow fly by iRacing deemed that there was not enough drivers sideways with oncoming traffic.
Well, that broke up the second half of the back.
Throw the yellow, so shocking to see drivers are now trained down, single file. They are no longer seeing this race in that chaos mode that we were seeing before, where it was 2-3 drivers side by side with one another. Now it's single file, look for a mistake and try to pounce with it. That's where it's top screen, trying different lanes to find that extra pace.
They're trying everything possible because it seems like
Okay,
so
Dakota, the next car is car number 25. Their rating is 4.8.
Things happen, but right now, Thomas Green on the go. He knows
Sorry
he
if that
has
was
an
that
opportunity
preview,
possibly.
Ethan.
This
I'm
could
not
be
up
his
here very
second
often.
win sitting on the table. Can the 3 go up here and climb his way?
Oh man, I'm loving it. Keep it up.
So
why'd you let Thomas back
those
here?
races and
Thought he was gonna wreck
races
us all.
in the past. When it was all the way back in season 1, season 3, season 4. Those are the only times we ran here, but it's a track that can bring drama. It can give a chance if you put yourself in the right position.
Anyway, we'll scuff up the right side some more. Fuck it.
Just like when we saw Ethan Smith, kind of shocked the ISRC Truck Series that first season with the win that he grabbed. We see another shocker with all even say that Kanata, Crawford, or even Tyler Dangler get a win. This could be their ticket to make the chase, as some of those drivers were outside looking in entering tonight in points.
They really were. A lot of these guys looking on that outside looking at Sam. And
The lap time was
30.67. And Fonseca's got a good opportunity here. He's got the clean air. First off, that is huge to have. But he has had good long-run pace, had really strong.
The next car is Morales.
So don't
Car
pass his
number
24. He has got an opportunity to get this done and get himself the hard way into those points.
The big thing for Oliver Fonseca as well for Kanata and Crawford is they're making a lot of hopes on Tyler Dangler. The battle for 5th is where a lot of them hold back and trust. Moments are
That time
happening.
was
We're in because Tyler
30.80.
Dangler is fighting extremely strong to hold back this 3.
16th place.
Green is quick, probably one of the fastest drivers inside of our top 5 currently, and he is just not finding a way to get around this 19 who is just being the perfect blocker for this Cannon Fire racing team.
He really is being, and Dangler has been on.
Surely I can't be the only one close on field, right?
Like he has just been getting, I think, really the most out of himself this season. And
Okay, Dakota. Captain's pretty consistent.
Some of the speed he's had, and I think he's just
Oh no, I'm showing good. Never mind.
Everything, you know, coming together. He's had a lot of experience in this league, and it just seems like this season, everything has come together for the 19. And on a good team, sometimes just being on a team with a good set of dudes and having a great vibe with them can make you have that much more fun and can equate to better runs.
That kind of fire racing team, certainly a good group of fast drivers. That's Cody Reed, Josh McDonald, and Mike Crawford on the Fonseca. That's Tyler's hanging out with a lot of good information out in the race during practice. And they are showing out on why they've got some good pace to hold back one of the strongest drivers and teams of the season. Innocent Racing has been the strongest team. If you look at the points, that's Thomas Green, Jared Talmadge, and Isaac Shelley. Those three drivers have been on their own tear throughout this season. And now it's going to be Thomas Green. He wants to try the outside, try to get the outside quarter handle. This might be the better opportunity to go for the pass. The outside looks so much stronger when you go
keep
for
hitting the
pass.
freaking wall.
You've just done a 30.86.
Tires with each pass you make. And Green looking good for now. He needs to make this pass off of 4, though.
It really does. We'll see if he can clear it. He will get it fully cleared now. Set his sights on the next one of the group. It's going to be the 74 of Nick Crawford, and we'll see how this works. I mean, right here, this group, you know, they're going to fight hard for Fonseca up front, and this group back here, they got to fight strong because they're seeing the time click away from them.
Is this the group that we can see the caution blossom from? As Cody Reed has been kind of hammered over the radio by a couple of drivers.
That little guy, little truck's forming up here.
It's going to be okay.
Trying to reel in.
On trying to set up passes, get by drivers. Noah Steele has shown moments of aggression, trying to go for big passes. Nico Garcia, birthday boy.
They're gonna wreck up here in a minute. It looks like somebody's gonna bounce it off the wall.
Good on the long run. He is going to fade. The question is, how much of an obstacle will he be?
The lap time was at 31.06.
We're at the 15. We haven't really talked about him a lot here tonight, except for those few moments where he was up front, catching up and got by Alan Elwood. But he's got so much traffic ahead of him. I don't even know if Vinny's got even a chance to get through this traffic unless he's got some chaos that tries to get in the way or cause fiasco in front of him.
Yeah, I think it's a tough situation. I think the driver in this grouping to watch out for, if anything, is that 27 and
lap time was
kind of fresher tires
31.
than anybody right now.
Lap times are pretty consistent.
Actually, sorry, other than Thomas Green, his teammate up there, he's got some of the freshest tires up in on that group. But still, I like the likes of the 27. He's been fast tonight in the long run. We'll see how he can get forward. But Cody Reed, like you said, who's been they're telling him to calm down. Well, he's doing a good job of just trying to make passes.
Big passes, we'll see opportunities to go for the big moves, and it has been working out at times. I know Socko Cody Reed for this race didn't get as much practice in, I think, that he would hope for. Got a little bit
That was at 31.24.
Qualified, and he's 25. He has had some sneaky pace. I think if he had some time for extra practice in, could have been fighting up front with those top 5, top 10 drivers currently just outside of the top 10, and right on the back bumper of Vincent Sora, who in a little bit of his own medicine, you could say. Vincent Sora in the first half of the race was giving bump drafts to the drivers. I think he's going to run off.
Oh, Alan's bidding. Interesting. I wonder if he thinks he can't make it.
Correction, because he's got to get this huge run up the exit corner, and he does. 25. Now side by side into 3.
Great job there to perfectly time that to not run the back of the 15, but have enough momentum to cross back over to the inside here. We'll see if he can get it done. I mean, much fresher tires here for Reed. Vincent Sora, actually, sorry, he's got really on the driver on the lead lap. He's got the oldest set of tires, so he is going to be feeling the pain of those tires. He wants to yell at some point to be able to put something pressure on, but at this point, it looks like he's kind of getting strung out. He could be in a world of pain if this goes right.
Last lap was at 31.
Oh, he just quit. And he saved it! No, he didn't! He saved it!
He's just going to accept also is out of this race.
Well, never mind the pit strategy now. Can't have a pit strategy race.
Under caution, pits are closed.
A chance to win. He is out of this race as Cody Reed put the pressure to the inside.
Damn it, man. We had just enough to. I wanted to see what was going to happen.
There's the caution that some of these drivers needed and went for the move. The
pace car, middle back. Pace car, middle back.
Just continues to see this great run.
Just use one of our 2 sets of tires.
Out of this thing.
And I think we're going to see again another huge huge bit of net.
Next car is in. Turn 3.
Reed is going to bobble. He's going to touch the curbing here. Get on the apron here. You're going to see great look at the setup here. That's a great setup. Make the 27 to
No, it hit pretty hard.
Have his door open to the inside. 25 goes low here. Look, he's just going to clip this yellow curbing here, get a little bit on the left front, and that's going to get him loose. But you can see there, no contact.
No contact.
You can't fit here, please.
Netcode.
What are you
So
doing?
the bobble from the 25,
I
but
can't fit here.
nothing more.
What are you doing?
There's no contact, and just unfortunately, Jared Talmadge once
thought you
again
couldn't, my
tonight
bad.
spinning up the racetrack.
Watch your speed limit in the pits. Okay, Dakota, we'll pull you to the end.
What happened there? Replay though, it's gonna be more frustrating for the 27, knowing that
Box in.
he wasn't
5,
clean pass,
4,
and he just has
3,
nowhere to go.
2.
It's sort of
Shelly
big save for
killed my
himself,
pit
but no
crew.
steal as well as Nico Garcia getting a piece
Yeah,
of
sorry,
this
Richard.
one.
I was genuinely confused.
Caution
My
is
bad.
out.
Front right,
Now it's the hardest
19%.
thing.
Left
Everyone
front,
is calling for a lot of these
97%.
drivers. Some have already used quite a few tire sets. Others, they've
Damn
got a
it,
few
slid through our box smidgen.
for everyone. It is 4 tires and fuel for majority of the field. The question is, who's willing to take 2 tires at this time? We saw it be successful for Nick Crawford. Who's willing to take this gamble now?
That is going to be the huge.
And I got the 77 and the 50 out front of us because of that. God damn it, man.
Be willing to risk it, it seems like. And it's just going to be a question of who will try it here. Maybe Nick Crawford, since he knows.
It's the concrete
Dump pit road errors
Smith
on my part.
did it. He took 2 tires and the 00 is in the top
If you guys
position.
took 2, I just want to give you a big heads up. It's going to be very loose on the first and second lap.
Top 2 are the only 2 to do it. So 2 tires to the top 2.
Top 2 for themselves. Actually, Mark Morales, gutsier call. Fuel only.
It's
For the
open.
91 did not even take 2
Base car
tires.
is in.
This
Turn
is going to
4.
be a rough one to watch
Please,
on how well he can stay up front. Ethan Smith.
I have to remember what happened at Vegas and what happened at Charlotte.
The call that got him into a position to
Follow car
win
number
this race
50.
back in
The
season
outside
1.
race car's coming in this
Started
lap.
his reign of just dominating.
You sent me through the infield.
He's going to try once again to get back into victory lane.
Next
This
car is in.
set
Turn 1.
Ethan Smith's whole entire season for himself. He needs a perfect
Okay, so we basically
performance
were in the same
to
spot
finish
we
out
were in,
this race
okay.
and get a win to make a chance for the chase.
That's for sure. This is going to be gutsy time. And the Morales call, you know, it's for only fuel. I think the reason for that, 9 pit stops made tonight for Martin. I don't know if there's a set of tires left over that wall there for Goodyear. So I think Morales was kind of, his bed was made, so to say, and now he's going to have to lay in it. And those tires are going to be somewhat decently old. So we'll see how the 91 can fire off here. This could be very critical for how you get around him. I look at Fonseca, who was leading this race. He's got to make sure to get around that 91.
Looking at some of these other drivers, we got Mark Morales. He's going to be on the inside. This could be hurting the 24 of Ali Fonseca, Joshua Kanata, Danny Cochran. The outside, though, that's
This has been a pretty crazy race. This has been a lot more crazier than I thought it was going to be, to be honest.
The race car is just left.
But then you got Crawford right behind him. Thomas Green, who we know is going to be probably one of the biggest threats of those 3 instead of top 6. Tyler Dangler,
Green, let's go.
Hey, you can go to my outside, Eric. I'm probably going to button my ass down here.
Our inside, 15th place.
Echo's a great thing.
It's time
Hold
to
your line.
see as we're running down to 30 laps to go.
That was a great save, by the way.
He's still wide open on who's got a chance
that
to
line.
win. But that driver on the outside, the 00,
inside.
he's got a good chance. Needs a good launch, and we are green.
Woo!
Once again, he's already
Dodged that
cleared.
mess behind us, didn't we?
Get 3 wide down into turn number 1, putting Mark Morales in a tough position.
Now look at this mess in front of us.
For second, and there's Morales just trying to hold steady. He bounces the outside, and it's Ethan Smith. Take off and go
You've just done
mode.
a 31.
Everybody's going to be looking
91
at some way to get
outside.
out from behind this 91 here, going down the back straightaway. You're going to see
Still
them
there.
fan out here as they enter into the corner.
Still there. Your outside's clear.
Survive for now. But that 00 does not look as strong as you would hope for. Morales stays high. They're going to be squeezing off the exit 4 into the walls
Alright,
of
Dakota,
91.
the
Everyone
next
else
car
able to
is
scatter
Garcia,
in with
car
the tight
number
squeeze.
50. Their
As they
rating
get
is
through, it's
3.2.
Garcia and a couple of others. The battle for the lead is about to be underway. It's Smith, it's Crawford, and Crawford did his plan and strategy fall into his lap once again.
40.
Similar to what happened back in season 4. Just found himself in the right strategy call late to just lead easily 42, 150 laps back in season 4. Right now, he's got the best chance. Outside quarter panel, it's the better
Car in front
passing
of us is
lane.
now
These
Garcia,
drivers
car
are moving
number
forward.
78. And their rating is
where you want to be.
4.3.
He positioned himself well there, knowing that that was going to be the
Damn, dude.
opportunity available to him. And you'll see here off the exit of 2, Smith not able to clear, and that was critical. Now it's going to give Crawford the chance to be a nose ahead here entering 3.
Update on Morales, he's fallen out to 20th position from 2nd all the way back outside of the top 20. Nick Crawford, though, a little bit too wide, had to back out, but he keeps his foot in the throttle and able to lead that last lap, almost fully clear into turn number 1. Ollie Fonseca trying to hold back this 3. Came back in 3rd. Crawford, if he gets a good launch, he does. He's clear. It's tip off and go for the 74. Now, can Thomas Green find the big passes that are needed with 30 laps to go? About to be 29. Green needs to make every pass clean and quick as he finally gets by Fonseca.
Huge opportunity.
On the high side. You're outside is clear.
Got by those tires. Can he open up a gap to Thomas Green, the next truck on 4 tires? That's going to be the opportunity for him. Because also, this run still can be longer. You got to manage these tires. You can't just go out here and
still there
because we'll start to struggle those last 15
still
laps
there.
Of this run. So we'll see who can manage them well.
Hold
but
your line.
Know they're all pushing everything.
Clear inside. Car inside.
You want to be up front. Clean air is so
still there.
And if you're Nick Crawford, this
hold your line.
That you've been waiting for, being in a spot where you're
still there.
Go inside. But if you look back for all the drivers that are 10th on back, this is that chaos position. This is 8th position of Trent.
You're good, man. It's hard.
He's got Cody Reed, Tyler Dangler. Dangler is still just trying his best to stay inside of a top 10 position.
Car inside.
He's defending so well over Thomas Green, but now with everyone around him, the 19 kind of struggling. He's trying to hold back Cody Reed as well as Vincent.
Damn, dude. Yeah, I think the right and left side damage is not helping my truck.
That's when everyone else is in danger.
Down the straightaway.
Yeah, that's for sure. You don't want to see that 15 get up there in the mix. They know how quick he can be. But everything was going wild up front. Ethan Smith, he had the likes of Thomas Green look to the inside. He really covered it off and now allowed the 24 to take advantage of it. He gets to the outside of the 3. So now these two fighting for any chance to get around him. While Nick Crawford is about a second ahead of this group. Crawford is loving what he's seeing in his mirror right now, Sam.
He is just in a
Okay, Dakota, next car is Steel, car number 8. Their rating is 3.4.
Smith, nowhere to really
dude, you're a fucking clown.
As Thomas Green is trying to get by Ollie Fonseca for the 2nd time in this run. Danny Cochran getting back in the mix, also seeing Joshua
That was over 30.46.
Isaac Shelley, where will they go if they've got an opportunity to go for a pass? And it looks like for most of them, it's just sticking in line. No one's really trying a different lane to get a good runoff to exit the corner or go for an aggressive push off in the entry. As these shorters continue to back and forth, a little bit of a trouble there for Danny Cochran. There's a chance for 16. Joshua Kanata to the inside to get by the 2. And as these laps continue to tick away, 25 laps to go. Zach, this is all Crawford, but they are starting to get a little bit more mixy. Really, it's the tension of you need to make these passes now. That frustration, the build-up. We're going to see some tempers flare very shortly, especially around that 8th, 9th, and 10th position.
That's for sure. Push is going to come to shove, as they would say. So you're going to start seeing people get a lot more desperate, and I'm already seeing that with people taking a lot more risk and opportunity, and I actually feel like it's
going in front is Smith, car number 45.
B-license, so they're trying to clear a little bit too fast. Sometimes you get impatient when you're side by side with somebody and just not drive the corner right. And so right now, if Fonseca can clear, he does do it. He does get it fully clear, and that's going to be great for him. Now he'll have that double zero to try to look to the inside, but that is completely fine. Go to my inside, block that outside.
He blocks it, forces Ethan Smith down the apron. Smith forcing it down, aggressively pushing, not holding that yellow line, pushing high, over a half a groove, too high, and Fonseca takes that reward. Ethan Smith now in trouble because he'll have Thomas Green on the outside. Danny Cochran now getting into the mix to try to push forward. As all this battling goes on, the gap has ballooned out to 1.7 seconds. Ollie Fonseca, he's seeing this opportunity to get another great run to transform his season from how it started to where it is now. These final 3 races were so critical for the 24 to try to make a chase push, and he is doing perfectly at this moment. Danny Cochran into this season, thought he was going to be a part-time driver. I mean, with this run that he's having, this could put him in a position to race for a chance to get in the chase and hunt for that 2nd championship.
It very well could. This is huge for the 2 machine because guess what? No stage points here in this league. So guess what? It's all about the finishes of the race. He's had somewhat of a, you know, a decent up and down race, but it's going to be looking like it's going to end in a good note here for him finally, and that could lead to, like you said, Sam, his way finding his way back to that top 12, as so many drivers want to do. Fonseca's also trying the same, but here comes Kanata. He looks to the outside of the 00 Ethan Smith, who's just trying his best to hold on to those two tires, and it's been a valiant effort for him.
It honestly has been, but like you noted on before, this was a long run that these drivers are going to fight for, and some were pushing too aggressively, too early on, and Ethan Smith might have been one of those that just saw an opportunity. He also is one of the only drivers who took a two-tire call. He wanted to get a looser vehicle, and
last lap time was at 30.94.
And it's collected. Their grip level has just faded away for the 00, and he is struggling on the inside.
Yeah, we just don't have speed right now.
Almost using other drivers to get through the corner, but looking at other drivers that are inside of the top 10, talking about Danny Cochran, talking about Joshua Kanata, both looking for their first top 5 finish of the season. It is right in their grasp if this race stays green.
That it really does look to be right in that grasp for sure, Sam. This is been a night of drivers having some excellent runs that are well needed for a few. So this is excellent timing, and you're seeing Reed here, who's continue to be right around that top 10 area. So Reed is trying to find his way marching up, and I think the best thing for him is next on his list is Ethan Smith, who has been falling backwards, so could possibly find another spot, but we know he's got that 15 behind him who tends to be strong.
Alright, so his top 10 around this league is going to continue.
This mirror a lot here in these last few laps.
18 laps to go, and a couple of more drivers entering pit road to get service done for their vehicle. Just a little bit too much damage, or just calling it a night early. As it's going to be Malik Coots in 77.
Okay, Dakota, the next car is car number 11. Their rating is 7.6.
19th points, got a major jump up 3 positions of points after last week's running at Atlanta. Even with being caught up with so many wrecks here tonight, he's been caught up in a few, and that might be the combination that he needs to have a good run. But this 25 has just been the thorn in the heel of Vincent Sora, and he just cannot find a way. Vinny is just trapped behind this 25 machine.
It's tough, you know, when you get behind someone
trying everything to find speed, man.
Cody's a very, very quick driver, and Cody's also not going to give up here. He knows what he's fighting for too. Vincent's got 2 wins. He's already got locked in. He needs to fight him because he cannot give up just easy points to someone that, you know, doesn't necessarily need him. So we'll see how hard he races in here, but he's also, I think, got to focus on trying to get somewhere around this 00, then maybe have a gap behind him to fall into. But right now, the 15, he looks just super strong on that bottom side, and I think his passing might be inevitable.
As Vincent Sora getting the better opportunity with Ethan Smith kind of fading on the outside, it's holding back Cody Reed. Now I'm looking at some of these times, Zach. That gap for Nick Crawford was up to 1.7 seconds.
Smith, car number 45, full license. That's half fuel. You've used half your fuel. You've just done a 31.12.
Ever so little bit.
Okay, Dakota, that's good consistency.
Keep it held up. There's some lap traffic that's in the way that's holding these drivers back. That's what's allowing this chance for the 24 to attack and go forward. As Eric Stamp now going to be in the way of the 24 machine. He'll go high, give space for Fonseca to push this way forward with clean air. Fonseca has been the faster driver to run down Nick Crawford. But the big thing with lap traffic, we'll see this 27 is able to filter his way through with everyone knowing we're in the final stages of tonight's
Somebody high up on the tracks, that's Maj.
How many lanes do we need?
So I'm not surprised to see this guy.
Apparently a lot.
I also saw Crawford, he was pushing so hard.
Was there somebody below you?
So it could very well come down to the fact that, you know, Fonseca.
I bet I can get 2.
And again, catching is one thing, passing's another, as you see right now. Passing could be difficult, so is Jared Thomas way up the racetrack for himself. So he's sliding back as bad.
Last time was at 31.26.
We could very well see another yellow flag pop up before the end of this thing.
And Jared Tolman just 1 lap down. He just went a lap down. He's been off the pace with the damage that he's collected throughout this run. Also, the 53 of Eric Stamps, another driver that's going a lap down. He's currently 11 laps down and is trying to filter his way backwards. Looking at Vincent.
Watch out for the 11 and 42 in front of us.
Looked like he's being held back by the 25, but the pace I'm seeing right now.
Seen that coming.
He's been running faster than Nick Crawford, faster than Ollie
All right, buddy.
The issue
16. That lap was at 31.65.
from the leader. So
Woo! We came down the track. Glad we were able to dodge that.
12 laps to go. This 15 needs a caution to be thrown to get back into the mix. It's down to our top two on who really has the pace to win this race.
Like you said, I think it's down to the top two. Vincent, he's got the pace for sure. Best of anybody on this long run. I just think third is the most. Is 15.
The usual stuff bag.
It's going to be tough with 11 laps to march past all.
Oh no! Trouble on the front stretch is Joshua Stovall, John Forbes making contact once again, and it's Stovall losing a lot of time going through the grass. Now down to 20th position. We stay green. 11 laps to go.
John Forbes can't catch a break. I
Gap to Smith.
Back in there.
9-1.
Really
car inside.
Could have done that.
Low side. Car low.
I mean, he was
bad,
in the fence.
What the hell?
Was still coming up.
No worries.
So,
I think I overreacted a little bit.
having a tough end to his night here, and same 17 for John Forbes.
You're on the inside.
They will continue to race on. John Forbes trying to gain as many positions as he can. Here,
That was a move.
Here's the challenge in the battle going on for 12th position. Tyler Tangler as well as Noah
I let you
Steele.
by, but you have to wreck Ethan and
Yes,
Cody.
hasn't gone the way that you'd hope is Tyler Tangler with a big slap to the
I got one
outside
of them, don't you
wall.
worry.
Continues to go forward without rear end damage after hitting the wall. Might
There
be
you go.
something to worry about in these final.
Yeah, I think you can Smith out a couple races
These
ago.
guys take weight.
You
Does that lead
Gateway.
gap? It's down to less than a second. It's 1.7 seconds now between Ollie Fonseca and Nick Crawford.
What'd I do
This
again?
24 is finding the speed
No,
late.
Sam, I
but
said
like you said
only-
before, it's easier to
only
catch
Noah.
than it is to pass.
That's for sure. But
No,
I
you didn't do
tell
that, but
what,
I think
it's
you're the
about
one that I
a
took out of
10
Gateway. And
faster.
you're the one.
And in my opinion, Crawford, unless he can just start gathering up and start.
And remember,
making
I'm,
sure he gets to that bottom,
got a little
because
bit of
that's
the
what I'm
fog
watching.
brains I've been taking up so much this season.
To get that truck to turn into that bottom group and get the stick there, unless he can start making that happen, I think it might be a tough.
Okay, to go to the next car is 11
because
laps behind.
he's going to have clear on that nose if you give up that bottom lane to him. So you cannot do that. And Fonseca, he's charging right now. It was a little, it was much closer in lap time that time.
The gap to car number 11 in front
just
is now
about a
0.89. Clear high.
Nick Crawford trying to get his first win this season. Ollie Fonseca trying to get his
The next car
first
is
win.
Smith,
It feels
car
like
number
forever. This
45,
24
license.
has been searching for speed, searching for the recovery run. And with 7, soon to be 6 laps to go, Ollie Fonseca needs this race to stay green with the pace I'm seeing right now.
Try to catch
He
this 45
still
truck
in
for
a
the end of the
fighting
race.
chance to take this position away and go for this win. It is down to these top 2 drivers unless it's just a catastrophic failure that happens for the both of them. It's Nick Crawford, it's Ollie Fonseca, it's the teammates
Just don't think we have
from
quite
Cannon
enough
Fire
truck.
Racing that have to go back and forth between one another. But if we're gonna have a caution, it
That lap
might
time was
happen between 3rd, 4th,
51.45.
5th, and 6th because Vincent Sora has caught up to those drivers that are battling for 3rd.
And he has. He's got right in the mix of this battle here as Cochran's trying to hold on the 3rd place for himself and get himself a podium finish this season. And, you know, Joshua Kanata here putting the pressure on him because he also wants to finish top 3. So all of them really want this 3rd position. I know how it can be as a driver. That sometimes can feel like a little bit of a mini win when you go out there and get that podium.
Trying to go for everything right now. Here's going to be Joshua Kanata trying to turn this race into a 1-2-3 finish for Cannon Fire Racing, but he's pushing up, he's sliding through the corner. The grip levels just aren't there here late. 5 now going to be making it 4 laps to go. Kanata looking strong, his nose is ahead, but watch out behind. Vincent Sora is closing in quickly as the 16 just not able to fully clear yet, as it's going to be Danny Cochran looking for the better run off the exit turn 2.
Cochran in the preferred position to go on the outside, but the 16 did a good job to get a good exit.
No, don't you steal my lucky dog. I'll wreck your ass.
3 and 4, what he can do a little high up the track on entry.
I'm a Dilla, it's the lucky Dilla on the
He's able
title.
to do it, but can the exit speed be there is the question. As we're
Don't make me
by
wreck
this
you.
time, 3 laps to go. It's also 0.3 of a second for our leaders up front, and it's a half
Come back here.
a tenth this time by for Ollie Fonseca. He is still finding a little bit of time, but the closer he gets, the more.
Running out of time to catch him.
That was the first time I feel like he's really dealt with the 30.
Yeah, I can't drive it.
Truck really washed out on the exit.
He was looking
That
for
time
that
was
run to
31.47.
go. It just
That's good
wasn't
consistency.
consistent
Keep it up.
that last lap by 110. Closing in ever ever so slightly.
Look now.
But we are now in the critical moments. Hit your marks. Have a perfect final 2 laps. And Ali Fonseca, victory could be calling your name. Or will it be the driver who's hoisting Creed, trying to find victory? Crawford looks good. Oh, Fonseca just within 2/10, but he loses ground off the exit. Zach is just not looking strong for Ollie here late.
He needs the exit speed.
White flag.
He's just
One
not
more
going
to
to
go.
exit. He gains on the entry, Sam, but Nick Crawford doing the better job. Back up that entry, back up the middle. Make sure you get the good exit. Fonseca in the wall.
Fonseca threw it all out there, but it wasn't enough. It's your gridless graphics white flag in hand as Nick Crawford pulls away. Now for Ollie Fonseca, his mindset is on protecting
Danny,
second.
did I come up too much there, or did you come down? I don't know what happened. I didn't even punch you if I did.
I could go like it, Joe.
No, that was one.
He was the only driver inside of the top
Damn it,
six
Chuck.
with
Tried to
that
chase me
much
down on
points.
the
Well, look to the
I do
flag
the
stand and say it's yours.
Damn it,
You
Justin,
are
I was
now
trying to get to you,
leader in
man.
season 8. Nick Crawford is back on top.
I did everything I could.
Crawford gets it done, and it's a
Oh, yeah, man,
1,
good shit.
2, 3 for Ken Crawford Racing, man. What
Go
a
in
job
there.
by that group.
It was a group effort to
Good
get
job,
them
Nick.
in this
Just couldn't keep up
position.
these two tires.
They took the strategy calls last week.
Nicely-
They
Yeah.
all took the strategy Nick Crawford
Nicely
went
done,
with,
Toast.
and it was complete dismal, awful. It was the worst strategy you could go for the evening. 1 week later, they follow in suit. They follow as a group,
P17,
and
not
they
bad,
succeed
all
as
things
one.
considered.
1, 2, 3, Cannon Fire Racing.
Excuse me?
Welcome to Victory
in,
Lane.
5,
Crawford is going to
4,
enjoy this
3,
one, but as a
2,
team and as a
1.
whole,
Box
this
now.
is such a successful story for themselves. And Nick Crawford, he was running a band theme. That means you are going to be earning
I will take
$40
it.
after 10
Could
minutes.
have been a lot worse, so
Congratulations
17th place.
to Nick Crawford. As when we come back, we've got
Just,
the post-race show.
couldn't-
We'll talk about our top 3 in a spotlight
just the
driver.
damage on the right and
as
left side
it was
just
a good one
slowed
here
us down a
tonight.
lot, I
We'll be
think,
back right
so
after this, talking to Nick Crawford, Ollie
unfortunate.
Fonseca, Joshua Kanata, and we'll find out who the
All
other
good.
one is
Move on
right
to the
after
next
this.
one,
We'll
but-
see you in a few.
We'll take the top 20 and carry into the next one. But appreciate everybody tuning in as always to the stream. We should be, might go live sometime this week. Just iRacing, but appreciate y'all tuning in as always, and catch you guys later on.